Hey guys, Cotton Grammar here, Assimilation Webinar. We have an amazing webinar lined up for you today. We are going to go over the 8 commandments to client SEO and how that can scale you up to $50,000 a month. There's a lot of things, guys, that we need to get fixed before we start talking about sending you out with different techniques. What we're going to talk about today is how to get your mind and how to get your attitude straight before you can literally scale up in client SEO. One is connected to the other one. I can't send you out and give you the best client getting tactics if you're not in the right place and if you're not thinking the right way. So we're going to go over 8 reasons that literally, if you just are not doing one of these 8 reasons, it can literally alter your business if you're doing client SEO. And even for those of you guys, even how to handle businesses, period. This, what we're going to talk about literally can cover anything, but it's mostly going to be about client SEO and how I've been able to scale it up so hard and so quick over the last couple of years. But with that, we want to say hello to my co-host who has always been with me, going on a year strong right now, Mr. Derek Awasiak. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Colin. Not too much. Just keeping busy.
Great. That's always good to hear. Good to know is it's 82 degrees in Orlando, man. Just thought I'd share that with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not 82 here.
Shorts and flip-flops, man. Shorts and flip-flops. That's what I'm doing in this webinar. So Stephen Floyd will be on a little bit later. He'll probably be on about 10 minutes late. But what we'll do is, guys, we're going to dive straight in to the questions and get these going. We've got a lot of people posting here that they're live, which is good. Want to get everyone in the right frame of mind right now, guys. This literally, I want you to open up your mind today. I want you to really think about everything because this is one of these webinars that I really believe can impact stuff. But we will jump right on into the questions. So next one is Cotton, not SEO related, but what is good to do in Orlando that isn't theme park related? I'm gonna be honest with you. I really enjoy the swamp rides out here. You'll be amazed at how fun getting on one of these airboats and doing a swamp ride is. I was actually kind of shocked that they told me that here from Orlando, you can actually take an airboat all the way down to the Florida Keys that chain all the lakes together all the way down. I didn't know that. So those are some pretty fun things to do here. We have a lot of, even though it's theme park related, there's a lot of cool zoos around here, other stuff. So, there's a lot of stuff to do around here, but if I can only get out of the house to do it.
Yeah. Sounds like fun.
The question is, what do you do if your client's website is not WordPress? The very first thing that I do, and Derek could have a totally different answer, I automatically tell them that I do not work on websites that are not WordPress. And I just tell them that there's a conversion, and I have a on-site designer that I use for all of my stuff. When something needs to get done, I just push it over to him, and he gives them a quote on what it takes to convert everything over. It's generally done very, very quickly before we can move over, or they're welcome to go to another SEO, but I don't mess with it myself. So don't even want to mess with it. Derek, what do you do when you get these things?
Me personally, I don't really care which CMS they're in. I'm familiar with maybe about 10. The only, a lot of the clients I have their own custom CMS, so I just have to work with the head developer a little bit, but those ones I'm just not really logging into and doing the changes myself. So I just, limit the on-page stuff on that kind of stuff. But, WordPress is great, but, there's lots of CMSs out there. And I don't really want to make everyone change to WordPress, especially if they're e-commerce, because
right.
WordPress it's kind of a really heavy system for running that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's a good topic to bring up. I don't do any e-commerce clients. I just kind of turn those down, just for no reason. Just the juice isn't worth the squeeze for me. I'm looking for as easy the jobs as possible with the most money as possible. When I get involved with e-commerce stuff, literally takes me too much time, too demanding with not enough money. I've always felt like I could go out and I could get another client at $10,000 versus a $10,000 a month client with e-commerce equals 10 times the work to me. So, but e-commerce is great if you want to do SEO on it. And if there's a niche for it, and if you like doing all that, that's fantastic. It's just something that I don't do myself, but I know that you do a lot of it and make a lot of money.
Yeah, it's definitely a skill you want to develop. It's really going to hone your skills too, right? Because it's like a lot more different URLs you have to deal with, a lot more site structure, and some of the tasks are a lot harder. So if you want a challenge, go e-commerce.
Sure, absolutely. On to the next question is, we've got one that says, my SEO site isn't indexed yet. I already know who this is. It's a new OMGer. It says, my SEO site isn't indexed yet. Is it too soon to link to a PBN? I'd wait till your site's indexed. And there's several things if your site isn't indexed at the moment that I would literally try to do. You can try to send some social signals at it. See if that doesn't get it indexed. Make sure you got a YouTube video on it and put the video XML sitemap. That normally gets it indexed pretty quick, but I wouldn't recommend sending any links at it until it's indexed. Don't you agree, Derek?
Yeah, I mean, set up your brand and social stuff, and then when you set up Webmaster Tools, you just submit your sitemap and it'll be done.
Absolutely. That's if you don't want to use. I was giving you advice if you don't want to use your webmasters, but if you really want to see
if it's a legit money site, you should be using it.
Sure, absolutely. So there we go. Next question is, are you still recommending using meetups for finding clients? Absolutely, 100%. Next question. I'm new to FCS and getting a lot of failed submissions on some pushes. Any advice on this? I don't use it a lot. Derek, do you?
You use what? I missed that.
He said he's new to FCS and getting a lot of failed submissions on some pushes. Any advice on this?
I don't really do it that much, so sometimes the accounts just get closed. It's just
hold on. Steven's on right now. He does a lot of that. Yeah. He can answer. Hold on. Let me make him an organizer. Yeah. Let me make him an organizer, and then he can answer the question. He uses it quite a bit. I like to.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Hey, good afternoon, man. Glad you can make it.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. Hey, Derek. Hey, sorry, I'll pick up the kids right now.
Sure.
Was he saying a lot of dead accounts or a lot of failed submissions?
Failed submissions. He said he's new to FCS, and he's getting a lot of failed submissions. He wants to know if there's anything he can do to improve that.
Yeah, I mean, failed submissions are really just not common. Having accounts that get killed if you don't do it right is really common. So if you're getting a lot of failed submissions, you need to look at your proxies if you're using proxies. And if not, I would submit a help desk ticket through to FCS because I very rarely, I mean, my submission are in the 90-something percentile. So that's just not an issue. It's usually a dead account, if it's failed submission. So it's a live account and you fail submission over and over again. Look at your proxies, make sure they're solid, and if not, then if they are, then put in a ticket with FCS.
Great. And someone wants to know if I golf. No, never have. Just don't. Not my flavor. Not my flavor. Next question says, what is the best way to leverage a cityseo.org site that is now number one in the 3-pack in organic? Well, I think you're doing it. You're ranking there. You use it for credibility and other stuff. We're gonna talk about this and get into this a little bit more in depth over the next couple of weeks without getting off in a long thing. But sounds like if you're number one, that's a good credibility piece for you. And especially if you're number one in the organic as well and the 3-pack, sounds like you got it all set up. You're due to get a lot of traffic there. The one thing that I'll do before we get into a whole lot more stuff over the next couple of weeks is you want to make sure that your site, you want to set up Google Analytics or some sort of traffic tracking to make sure that the amount of traffic you're getting, that you're also getting the conversions from the traffic. So that's very important. We're going to go a whole lot more in depth in this today and over the next couple of weeks. So the next question is, for those starting with zero client getting know-how, What is your single best recommendation on how to crack into client consulting? Once again, we are going to I'm not ignoring these questions. It's something that we're really going to get into over the next couple weeks. And we will do that, guys. There's tons of stuff that still work. SEO splitting, meetups. There's a lot of stuff, and we're going to go over a tremendous amount of that over the next couple of weeks. We're going to be dedicating everything to going out, doing clients, and we'll get to some more stuff. It says, who is a go-to for web design? Well, you can go out and you can ask an OMG who's like good at it. I really don't have any suggestions for you. I went out and found my own. You can go to Upwork, find some people there. Steven, do you got any suggestions on how people can find people that are in web design?
Yeah, I mean, what you just said, I like to use people. I have kind of like my premium guys that I use, which are people based in the U.S., and, they're expensive. So if I need a really well-designed site, for a client that's got a large budget, I just stick with them. But if I have a smaller budget client, then, I have people that I use on Upwork. But, you're really it's going to take some time to get through and find some good ones. So I would do what Cotton said. I would probably just throw it out in OMG because there's probably 100 people in OMG that do web design. Mm-hmm. So I'd probably start there first.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I found some good people on People Per Hour too. That's really good for.
You know what?
They do a lot of my infographics.
Come to think of it, you're like right. They got people that'll put up a WordPress site in 24 hours for like $150. Now that I remember that, so sure, you are right about that. So I just forgot about it. I just like to, I want my websites looking a certain way if I'm building them out right. So next question is, what is the best? I'm gonna not answer that one. Let's move to the next one. It says here, hello, Cotton. This is my first webinar. I am new to OMG question. I noticed that your website has a section for seen on CNN News. Is there any special secret behind this? No, there's not. You just get featured on these sites. It's kind of one of these things, guys, that when you first get in new to OMG and you get this other stuff, you like want to know, hey, how do I get in a rocket when you don't even know how to drive a car yet? So, all these things come to you over the course of time. What I don't encourage anyone is when you first get into OMG, worry about how fast you can go, but know how many gaps you can fill in with what you don't know. Because foundation is literally what you're going to come back to 9 out of 10 times in OMG. Every fad that goes on, every way to rank, it's all going to roll back to literally Greg Morrison's training. And when you learn Greg Morrison's training inside and out, and you learn how to rank in a website with other stuff, that's like me saying, hey, Cotton, how can I rank a website in 2 months? If I told you how to do it, you're not going to understand it. You got to learn the basics first. So that's like one of the things I encourage. So welcome. Get engrossed in the 101 stuff. Iowa City Over the Shoulder series. Steven's got some pretty cool stuff that's going to be coming out over the next few weeks about, how to rank your website, if you're doing some local client stuff. So we're going to have a lot of different stuff to choose from. But guys, I encourage, if you're in OMG and you're in here for 90 days, I wouldn't be worried about the shortcuts. I'd be worried about getting the foundational stuff down. And it's pretty much my advice. Derek or Steven, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, just keep watching all the webinars, and the community is going to be a really good help too. So just keep asking questions.
Mm-hmm. Great. Yeah, it says, do you still use the approach of showing? Guys, listen, everything that I teach inside of OMG, I still use. There's nothing that I don't do. So if you're asking me for a particular client getting method, and if it still works, it all works. Or I would have asked for it to be removed. So just to clear that up, we're getting like 6 or 7 questions. Does this still work? Does that still work? Yes, it still works. The next question is it normal that Google Webmaster Tools does not show all the links going to your site, even if they are indexed? Well, I don't look in there that much to care, but Steven, what's your experience with that?
It's not only normal, it's going to happen 100% of the time. Google Webmaster Tools, now called Search Console, is only going to show you a small portion of the links that Google is seeing for you. It's never going to show you all the links it sees. And then all the links so I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, you're never going to see, so don't worry about if you don't see them in there. If it's indexed, then you're fine. Let's leave it at that.
Great. Next question is, any way to improve Facebook search results for groups? Do off Facebook links help? Been trying a few things for Facebook. We don't really teach that in OMG, and I really don't know. Steven, Derek, do you know anything about ranking groups inside of Facebook search engines?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, that's not the best place to put your time and energy, trying to rank it internally on Facebook. What's going to be a better use is to do some keyword searching on, groups that are similar to the niche that you're trying to pitch to and get into those groups and participate or pay someone to participate, something like that. But actually trying to, quote, rank your Facebook group in Facebook, even if you were able to do it, is not going to provide much value for you. Yeah. Facebook is not really a search engine, at this point, not like that. So find a bunch of groups that a bunch of people are in that are in the niche you're trying to get an audience in, get in there, throw in some content, have some interaction, and that'll do better than trying to rank it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe that's why I've never cared to learn it. It's just there's no value behind it, so I've just never bothered. So, but great point. Next question is, I've written a unique article for social media post, but I'd like to use the same article for content on one of my web pages. Would this be considered duplicate content by Google? Is it safe to use it on my own website? Thanks. Derek, Steven, you want to grab that one?
I have to reread that.
Yeah, is he saying? I think he's saying that he it got published on another site and he wants to use it on his site. If that's what he's saying,
yeah,
then no, you don't want to do that. You can publish it on your site, but you want to, if it's published first on another site, then you want to link back to your post on your site. You don't want to try to rank the one on your site. But don't worry about duplicate content. But generally, when you do a guest post, that's where it's going to stay. That's where the value is. You'll use that as a tier. So typically you're not going to do both is the answer.
Right. Here's an interesting question. It says, I've seen some sites that are top 3 for major keywords that don't use H1, H2 tags. Is this a new ranking factor in 2016 to under-optimize homepages? Derek, you know anything about that?
Lots of rankings that aren't using H1 tags.
Yeah, that's what he says. He's noticed it. They're not using H1 or H2s.
I don't know. There is a small test that's been going on that's kind of showing that H3s have been having more weight than H1s, but I haven't really validated it. So
right.
I still believe that title and H1s are going to be URL, title, and then H1 is going to be the most important factors. But
yeah,
you certainly don't need H1s to rank,
mm-hmm.
and so you don't have to use them.
I think it's a lot of overthinking myself. Just rank it. I've got sites that have H1s and some that don't, and I really don't notice that big of a difference in either. So, but I have seen that article somewhere where I've read it where I was like, that seems a little strange that H3s have more weights than H1. Steven, do you know anything about that?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, it sounds like a spurious correlation to me, to be honest with you. Causation and correlation are not the same thing here. I don't think so. An H1 tag has a very specific purpose that existed before Google existed. It's something that Google is taking its marching orders from other organizations. So the whole point of an H1 has a purpose on the page, and Googlebot has an assignment for an H1. So if you see several sites that are ranking without doing anything that we teach, then there's other stuff going on. So just because if I saw a site that had no backlinks to it and it was ranking, that doesn't mean there's no backlinks. Like, they could be hiding them, right? So I would do what Greg does until Greg tells me to do differently, is what I would do.
Yep. Here we go. Next question is, I have a client that is based in Cyprus, and they have a local store selling women's clothes. They want to start selling globally. We've been doing local SEO until now. How can I start ranking high in other countries like the UK or US? Derek, you're the foreigner here. Informal.
All right. Well, the first thing you want to do is probably change your anchor text strategy to global, target more national search, right? If they're if they're ranking, if you want to rank in different countries, you could look into getting different TLDs for each country because it'll be a lot easier to rank, like the .co.uk versus the .com in there, and then just use set plugin WPML, whatever it is called, the hreflang manager. We have to I don't think we've ever covered actual webinar on how to use that, eh? I don't.
No, we have not.
No, we haven't.
Might be.
So
might be a future webinar.
Yeah. So. But if you're trying to use one domain, just change your anchor text strategy and go for national search. Make sure you're not using any local modifiers on it. And usually, sometimes I don't display the address on the home page, but I usually just leave it on the contact page. Sometimes that's helped change sites from local to kick in for a national search, but it's not always. Stephen, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, really what he's asking is really complex, as I know that you know, obviously, so I don't think we can really answer this too well, better than you've already done on a short webinar. If you want to rank at multiple, locations, whether it's states in a country or whether it's, nations or whatever continents, you're going to have to take your single site strategy and multiply it by the number of different places you want to rank. So just at this point, I don't think we can help too much more than you already have.
Got it. Great. Next question. Is a social site like Facebook and Twitter with some PBNs powering it up more powerful than a single, more expensive PBN? Wondering if I need to buy more powerful PBNs or do what Greg does and point PBNs to socials and 2.0s. I don't know if I want to touch that question. I do what Greg tells you to do. That's my answer. Steven?
I mean, I'm gonna not really expand upon that, but to be clear, what Greg tells you to do is if you are an advanced SEO and you're really familiar with PBNs and you have a lot of experience with that and with anchor text and all that stuff, then you can point them directly to your money site. If you're not a really experienced SEO that has a lot of experience with PBNs, then he suggests you point them through Web 2.0. So wherever you fall into that equation, whoever asked that question, I'm not able to follow along real easily on here, then that's what I would do. But either way, it's do what Greg does. So if you're advanced, go for it. If you're not, do what Greg said and point it to the Web 2.0s.
Yeah, he can do them both ways too. So just
absolutely.
Yeah. Next one is let's skip on here. Here we go. This is an unusual one. I have Norton Security on my PC, and I got an email from Norton that one of my PBNs has malicious content and might pose a security risk. Any advance on how to fix this? And is it fixable, or can I use the PBN? I've already set it up and have some simple posts, but nothing is linked to it but socials. Just from reading it through one time, I can tell you what I'd do. I'd disable Norton Security. So that's just me. Stephen, Derek, do you have any more context to add to that?
I'd love to add after. Go ahead, Derek. I'd love to add after you, though.
Sure. I mean, I have it's a stupid AVG toolbar always installed on my computer, and it's something I don't want. And you go to pretty much any site, and it's going to set it off. This says some kind of backdoor or something on there, but there's usually nothing wrong with the site. I know there's nothing wrong with Yahoo.com, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? So a lot of it's just false alarms. Sometimes it is an issue, but then you're going to talk to a security guy. So,
Stephen?
Yeah, so, Cotton, you know that I used to own a company that was kind of like Geek Squad. We would do computer repairs. Yeah. And we had a joke that we should send probably at least 5% of our gross income directly to Symantec because of all the business they brought to us from their product sucking so bad. And us having to fix it and remove it off people's computers. But that being said, what I would do if I had a PBN and anything was telling me that it might have malware is I would go into Search Console, aka Webmaster Tools, and see if there is a malware warning in there. If there is, then there's information on what to do next. If there's not, I would probably still go ahead and do a virus scan on the site from inside of cPanel. Or you could just download the whole WordPress site and scan it locally with something other than Norton. But I hate Norton. I wouldn't use Norton on anything. It's just horrible.
Yeah. You know what? I'm like kind of curious. Just get a little feedback here. Put it in the Facebook group, guys. Once again, I've taught the new people over on Simulation Light, guys, you can have your cell phone in your hand and be hashtagging and keep it up there if you need a little hack on how to do this. But how many of you actually have an antivirus software running on your? Just give me yes, hashtag yes. If you don't, give me hashtag no. I'm just kind of curious. We've never really asked this before, but let's see what we got here. We got. I love how Chris Lee says, "Hell no, no, yes, no." Looks like it's halfway. Looks like it's about 50-50. I refuse to run one. What about you, Steven? Well, you're a Windows guy, so you better run one.
You know what? Actually, I don't. I have Windows 10, so it's got Microsoft Security Essentials / Defender built into it, and it works great for me. And then on my Mac, I guess I don't have anything.
You don't need that.
Yeah. Do I have anything on my Mac? I don't know.
No, you don't.
I don't know if I would even know how to tell.
It'd be like injecting it with the HIV virus if you put it on your Mac. So yeah. Derek, I know you got to be running one with that Windows, man. Come on.
I just use Malwarebytes. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't. I've never ran one. I say this now and watch me get wiped out. I've never had a virus ever using a Mac. Ever. Then again, I'm not going to suspect places, and I'm not opening up fishy emails either. So I've always looked at that. I'm on pretty respectable sites 100% of the time, so I don't understand how I'm going to get a virus that way. So it's all good. We will move to the next question. So we got about 50% of the people that use it, 50% don't. It says here, do the words in the URL count when you're trying to rank for the main keyword, which is in URL? Answer, that's part one of the question. Hell yes. And if you have sent a few URL anchor links to that page, should I be mindful sending exact match anchor link texts? I think the answer to that would be no. Did you guys get that, or do you want me to read it one more time? Steven and Derek, if you want to interject in on this one.
Well, so if your keyword is in your URL and you're sending the same keywords in your anchor text, yeah, it can get over-optimized.
Yeah.
So you should be mindful of that. That's why I usually kind of dance around the keyword first, and then you go for it. But if you're building TBNs, you're sending usually just one link per day or whatever, so you can tell if you get over-optimized pretty quickly. You can tell if it's usually gone.
Right. Got it. Maybe I read it wrong. Steven, anything to add before we move on?
Nah, y'all covered it.
Good. The people seeing our audio's cutting out, so I don't see anyone complaining yet. So next one here. Cotton, about to pitch a plastic surgeon. He wants to rank for just about every service he offers, which is a ton of keywords. How do you handle clients like this? Would you just rank them for plastic surgeon city or breast augmentation or whatever? The answer is whichever is getting them the most traffic that's going to make me look the best, period. Whichever is going to make the phone ring. So I'm going to look for keywords that people are searching for the most in his particular area. Maybe it's breast augmentation. Maybe it's rhinoplasty. Maybe it's plastic surgery, city. Who knows? But you got to look those numbers up, and that's what you do. What I generally do is I generally give them a couple keywords, and I'll just say it doesn't look. I don't care what they want to rank for. Here's what I'm going to do, and we're going to start out with 2, maybe 3, and once we get these up and running, then you're going to be happy to find out that many of the other ones that you want to go for also are probably going to rank from the vacuum of what I'm already doing. Once we get these up high enough, we can go back and revisit if you want other keywords to be ranked. So I do set a limit in how many keywords that I do rank, and I do give discounts. Like once we get to a certain place, I'll say, okay, we can add 4 more keywords or this or that, but it's going to cost X amount of more dollars. Or I wait until I get the particular results done from the first set. Then that's how I extend them to work for me longer. If they want to rank for something more, maybe it's rhinoplasty, maybe it's nose job, maybe it's mommy makeover, maybe it's one of these other keywords. These are all very difficult keywords. I'm just not going to give them carte blanche, going mommy makeover, rhinoplasty, breast augmentation, and plastic surgeon. So they're going to have to pick and choose, and then we can add on different things after that. But I prefer to just work on one set when it comes to stuff like that. Derek, what do you normally do?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Like once they're ranked for the set of keywords we kind of agree upon, then if it's kind of stale or they're already ranking and they're like, well, why do I have to keep paying? Like, well, we can introduce some more keywords and then kind of renegotiate or up their budget usually if they're not getting enough traffic, right? So as long as we're making money or good return, we're good,
Sure. Absolutely. Steven, anything to add?
Yeah, I do pricing a little bit different than you because my scope of clients is usually a little bit different than yours. And plastic surgeons are one of the things that I specialize in. This is actually one of the few times that I actually enjoy working with plastic surgeons because a lot of them tend to have a God complex. And so what I do is I will price them out on everything they ask me for. So if they ask me for 20 keywords that are worth $5,000 each, then I give them a proposal that includes one of the options is $100,000 a month, right? I usually give my clients a couple of different options in a case like that. And so far, nobody's taken me up on the the $100K a month option or the even the $60K, $70K a month option. But I love it because for just a minute, I know that they're looking at it, and I know that they know I'm looking at them, and I'm just like, hey, I'm ready to go. Just let me know. Which one of these will your budget work with, right? And so, that's how I like to do it. I'll be happy to start with like 10 or 15 if they want, but, it's going to be a long time, because like you said, you're going to get synergy with some of the other keywords. They're going to make each other more powerful, but, generally, like you said, Cotton, and like Derek said, I typically am going to rank someone. I usually do about 9, actually. I usually go for 3 trophies, 3 medium value, and 3 long tails. And I kind of promise those results over a number of months. And that's how I do. Almost all my clients are like that. But if they wanted to, pay a bunch up front, I'd certainly be willing to do it. But so far, the highest I've ever gotten from a single client, on a single start was $25K. And that was real kind of a special deal. It had multiple websites and whatever. So typically, like you do, I'd go after just a couple.
Definitely. Great. We will move on to the next one. Someone wants to know, is it important to have business cards? Guys, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I thought it was so important when I first started OMG. Oh, got to have a business card. Taught that. I don't think I've given out one business card in all of 2015. Just not one. And people would ask me for them, and I'm just like, hey, I'm fresh out. And I don't really think I lost any business either. Am I telling you not to get them? No. I just don't think that you're going to find that they're absolutely just deal breakers if you don't have one. But there's a lot of places like MOO.com. I think you can get like an introductory 50 business cards for free, like just for shipping, something like that. Just start out with that. Find out how many business cards you go through. Now, if you're handing out business cards as a way to prospect, or you're going to a lot of meetups, so that's your way of meeting with people as you hand out your business card, then great. I've just never marketed or networked myself that way. So, Derek, Steven, plus I don't ever go anywhere either. So
yeah, I mean, I do most of my stuff face to face. So I'll tell you a little hint about how I do things. I do lots of in-person events, like networking events, and lots of people. One of the things that I like to tell people is, that if you're going to be in these networking events like BNI and things like that, you need to participate, right? You need to buy things from people in the group. You can't just go in there and try to sell your stuff and never be a buyer. So business cards are one of the things that I buy often, and I think I've mentioned this before in a webinar, but I've probably got, I'm not exaggerating, probably about 5,000 business cards in my garage, because it's like at every freaking networking meeting ever, there's always somebody that's doing like business cards. So it's a real cheap, like $30, $40, $50 way for me to show that group that I'm a buyer, I'm a player, I'm a participator, and so, get them that way and be kind of a double value for you. And then, like I said, I hand them out a lot, but that's just part of what I do. I close most of my deals in person too. So it's just a different way of doing it. Obviously, Cotton does most of his over the phone. So, business cards probably aren't going to be as valuable for him. But for me, I feel naked if I left the house without business cards.
Yeah, I agree. Next one. Considering all the metrics are the same, are PBNs with TLDs other than the regular .com, .net just as powerful, like info, CC, etc.? The answer is I have been able to get movement on brand new sites identical with .coms. Now that's like just me and what I've tested. I've bought a few hundred .xyzs, .ones. Those are my preference that I like go to. If I can't get a com, or if I can't get a net, or if I can't get an org, I really like the .xyzs and the .ones. So, Derek, I'd like to know that you and Mike buy a lot of these, or is it just Mike? And what's your thoughts?
Well, he buys thousands, but there's really no more TLD preference. Like if you're actually building a money site, you can pretty much rank any TLD, except for some like .wins. We've had some indexing issues with, but XYZs will rank just as quickly as a .com. PBN wise, infos are going to be fine to link with. It's just about link juice. It's not about TLDs. So obviously, there's just going to be more abundance of .coms out there, and there's quite a lot of .infos, but some of the rare, like the .xyzs, are going to be harder to find for PBNs because they're so new. But yeah, there's no preference.
Steven, you been testing any of that?
Well, yeah. I mean, this is a really good question because it gives me an opportunity to remind everybody that the power of a PBN comes from its backlinks. So I don't care what the TLD is. If you find an XYZ that's got a whole bunch of really good backlinks going to it, and so it's got a lot of juice, then buy it. I mean, like Derek said, though, you're going to be hard-pressed to find many XYZs that have a lot of juice that haven't been spammed because, another thing, you're going to look for with your backlinks is, so a little bit of age, right? You don't want to buy a PBN that's got, all of its backlinks are in the last 30 days. You're looking at that, you're looking at somebody who's scamming you on an auction is what that is, right? So, if you can find any top level domain, any domain extension, and you got some good backlinks in there, that are, at least, I like them at least a year old personally. I know different people have different values, but if it doesn't have at least a handful of links that are more than a year old, I'm not even looking at it. I don't care what its metrics are. But don't worry about that. But like Derek said too, with the money site, that's different. Money sites, I'm only going to stick with top level domains for the U.S. and I may go with country specific domains. If I wanted to rank it in Australia, I'm going to go with the .au, just as an example, or .com.au. So anyway, yeah, good question. I remember backlinks for PBNs.
Yeah.
It's true.
I do notice that there's a lot more. If you're like buying more expired stuff, there's going to be a lot more quality domains that are like .co.uk that haven't been spammed.
Yeah.
For fancy pricing and stuff like that. I notice that a lot.
I don't think their buying market is active, right? I don't think their market is as active. I think that's why there's so many of them because I see the same thing you do. I don't think that there's as many SEOs in the UK, so they're not getting bought up. Everybody and their dog is buying them here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But Steven's right about the PBM. But if you're looking to just start a brand new domain itself, I started a brand new domain, and I'm ranked number 1 for city web design with a .1. So nothing. All these are the same right now. It's all the links in the back of it. It's just how you do your SEO. SEO.
Just .wang.
It's crazy. There's so many right now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's hundreds.
Yeah. Guys, just to let you know, there's a lot of times that I'm like getting about 6 or 7 questions like this. Guys, if I bring someone on the webinar here and we're only giving something away for that particular webinar, it's a deal that I've set up with them specifically. I mean, please try not to be a sore loser. that you weren't able to make it. I know that not everyone can make all the live webinars and stuff, but it's nothing. It's out of my hands. It's a deal that I cut with them directly, and it just everyone can't get everything. You got to be at the right place and the right time to get some of this stuff. So if I have a lot of people ask, there's a lot of questions on here, people worried about that they've missed out. And that's why I always encourage, if humanly possible, to be on these webinars live. We have after credits that we cut out of the recording. There's a lot of stuff that we do. So I just apologize that we can't get everything to everyone, even though that we would like to. But when these people are giving away their products for free and gracious enough to give it to hundreds of people, they just don't want to be bothered with customer service questions weeks and weeks after that they've done it. Hope you can understand that. And, they were gracious enough to come on here and do it. Guys, if that makes sense, give me hashtag makes sense. They were cool enough to come on here and give it all away. And then when they got to get message for weeks afterwards, kind of makes them bitter, to want to come back and be so generous again. They just want to give something away for free. And, they don't want to be hassled or made feel like that they're not very cool for like doing it. And there's a lot of people, it's not fair. You have to give it to me too. And, that's not the attitude that we want at OMG. We want to be grateful and make people feel welcome to want to hear give away their free stuff. And I could definitely understand that if I was giving away something for free and if I had people complaining to me and sending me, messages, hey, you have to give this to me because my car broke down in this. So let's just try to have a little bit better attitude about it. We're going to continue to try to get free stuff. We don't have to do it, but if it becomes an issue with people that they get so angry that they can't make it, then we just stop giving away free stuff and we just teach. So that's my 2 cents on that. So the next question is, what we got here? More here. What kind of clients are willing to pay $5K to $10K? Any client that has a high, that charges a high dollar amount per client. You got plastic surgeons, you got lawyers, you got fencers, you got, large equipment vehicles, you got fork trucks, dump trucks, you got all sorts of stuff. It's just right off the top of my head. Steven, you want to keep the list going? One I forgot?
Yeah, I'll tell you an easy way to tell a lot of times, especially if you're in a large area. Listen to the radio. People who are buying radio ads during prime time typically, have a decent budget. I heard that a Super Bowl 30-second slot goes for $4 million this year. $4 million. But yeah, there's tons of people. You have to understand that a $5K a month budget for SEO across all of SEO is a low budget actually. I know that you guys think that that's a lot of money, but if you look across the board, like what the average company spends on SEO, I think it's like 12 or 15 or something a month, if I remember correctly from the last research that came out. So, something was mentioned earlier. I'll tell you who absolutely will pay that much is your e-commerce clients. So again, there's a lot of work for that, a ton of work. So, again, just think, rich niches basically, right? Anybody that's going to make a good return on investment and really 5,000 is low. That's not.
I'm going to be honest with you. That's my minimum. That's
okay,
my minimum.
I was going to say, there's a ton of businesses. 5K is a joke. All your doctors and especially your like Cotton said, your plastic surgeons. If 5K is too much for them, then they must be still in school or something. I don't know what the deal is because they make that much off a single procedure. In Dallas, Texas, the average net profit, so net, not gross, net profit for a procedure is $7,000 in Dallas. And of course, that's across all of them, everything from $40,000 procedures down to 10. But $7,000 for a single procedure, holy crap! If you can't get them 1 or 2 leads a month that close and turn into customers, they should hire someone else.
Exactly.
So, you're looking at people making 50, 60, 70, 80,000 a month off of your SEO. You're darn right they're going to pay you 10 or 15K a month for that money.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've got 30 plus clients over 10,000. So it's it's not hard. Not hard. Just kind of look. It says there.
Solar's up too right now, eh?
Where?
You can watch solar power and stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
Solar.
That's a good one.
We got almost a dozen solar panel people
It's good money
The
right
average
there, man.
installation, yeah, the average installation is about $25,000. So.
Exactly. Dude, that's hot right there. I mean, when you can guys, just think about that. You know, Derek just come up with a really good one. You know, it's $25,000 just to install it. Think about what it would take. What I'd like to look for is clients that they get very little traffic and they get a lot of reward for it. So, you know, and if you were on the assimilation light, I mean, I kind of explained it, but I'll explain it again. You know, if Taco Bell wants to hire you and you can send 300 people, brand new people every month to them, that's not going to be any business for them when they're making about $1.50 for every person that comes through.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to afford $5,000 a month to pay you. It makes no sense. Just like Derek said, what if Derek and his solar panel people can provide 200 unique visitors a month to that site and they close 4 of those things, 5? It's worth it. So the really key is to look for high dollar amounts, minimal people over to the website, high reward, high return for the client. When you can send over hundreds of people and there's low return, like a taco, you know, then it just doesn't make any sense. So that's how you really got to look for client SEO and look for really good paying clients. So
yeah, I think
next,
work and stuff like that.
Exactly. But next question is, which maybe I'm misunderstanding it. There was a posting in the Facebook group this week where someone said they could handle monthly maintenance on 23 clients in one day. Is that accurate? I would hope so, because I have 121 clients and I can manage them all in one day if I have to. So yeah, that's a pretty low number of clients for me. So I'd like lose and gain more clients than that every month than 23. So yes, it's possible. Cotton, I have an affiliate website that I'm just getting started to perform SEO on. Fired up that I found OMG coaches like you guys. Oh, thanks. Steven, he's thanking you, buddy.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It says, hey, Cotton, what niches, size of business do you find the easiest to sell? We just answered that question. It says, how would you use crowd search for a client? What keywords, etc.? Kind of think we went over that on the webinar. You would do it no differently than you would on your own site. First, you want to start off with branded. You want to ease up, and then you want to start sprinkling in keywords. So we're not going to get into a whole search and click lesson right now. Let's see here. One of my money sites is ranking in the top 75 in other countries, but it's not showing anywhere in the search results in my own country. What might be for the reason? We will throw this to our foreigner, Derek Watson.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those, yeah. Probably want to look at the site to see what's going on, but could be, we don't know if he's using the wrong TLD, could be penalized somehow.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah, I mean, I've had ones that rank fine in one country and then nowhere in the U.S. because they got penalized. I mean, each Google basically has its own set of rules too, you know. So some of the foreign countries they're almost operating like 5 years ago in Google US, you know. So yeah, it could be a whole whack of things. It's kind of too generic.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing to do is to go into Search Console and make sure that your geographic area is set to the area that you want to rank in, because if it's not, then that's it. So just go there first and check. And if you have it set correctly, then it's probably, you know, like Derek said, one of the 8,000 things. You know, there's a lot of things that could be. But I've seen that happen so many times, it'd blow your head apart. So just remember, you know, you need to set a geography in Webmaster Tools and Search Console. So that would absolutely explain why this is happening, or one explanation. Like Derek said, though, too, very well could be that you have some type of penalty on the version of Google that you're trying to rank in. So, you know, a lot of times you'll see this with new clients. You take on a new client and you really don't understand their history, and you don't know that someone, you know, in India, the best SEO expert on Upwork for $1 a day, built them out 855,000 profile links, and you know, got them destroyed, right? So look at those kind of things.
Usually a good sign of a penalty is if it's still ranking Yahoo and Bing or in Google. So
Right.
Yeah, great point.
Yahoo really loves the spam.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great point. So check that out, like Garrett said. So check and see how it's doing in Yahoo and Bing.
Right. Stephen, Joshua Ferris says hello.
Well, hello there.
This is, you guys will probably know the tool. I just do it manually. Is there a tool that you can tell whether a prospect has a WordPress site or any other platform, say he's prospecting to you? I've just always just went ahead and put, wp.admin in back of the URL, and I see if I get a login or not. So that's what I've always.
Sometimes you just Google what CMS is at, and there's a couple different sites that'll just plug it in. It'll detect it unless they've modified the code, or usually you just kind of view the source and you can tell if it's WordPress or whatever. Or an easy way, just going /WPMin, but people change that a lot of times too. So the what CMS sites work pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I do what you said. First thing I do is just right click and view source and see if I see, WP, if I see that, and, if I don't see it there, then I'll go to, what WP theme is that, or WPthemedetector.com, both of those. And if you throw it in there and it's not WordPress, it's going to say this site is not WordPress. So, like you said, though, any of those methods I think would work.
Great. This is a very interesting question. It's for Derek. This is Derek. Would you rank someone that has a Weebly site for their money site?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Stephen, what about you?
Hell no.
That's what my answer is. If they're not smart enough to have a regular website, they don't need me working for them. They need to. I don't know. I just refuse to. So. It's just.
Well, I mean, there's two different things. Like they can be Weebly mapped, right? So they can have their own custom domain on Weebly, and just because it's it's pretty much cheap hosting, but it's also Weeblys are easier to rank. So I mean,
I agree.
They are 97, DA97 or something like that.
Tell you what,
maybe.
when I run across one of those, I will just give the referral over to you.
Yeah, I mean, but there's no money in the job. There's no money in the job, right?
Right. No, there's just certain things, and guys, I'm not telling you not to do that. Listen, if you're just starting out in OMG and someone wants you to rank a Wix, if someone wants you to rank Blogger, or if someone wants you to rank, any of these platforms, just do it and take the money. We're in positions right now, all like three of us, where we can pick and choose what we work with, and and it's a good position to be in. But ultimately, if someone wants you to go out and rank anything, even if it's a YouTube video, like someone asked me to rank a YouTube video, I just ignore them. But I'm in a position where I can do that right now. But back in the beginning when I first started out, if someone wanted to pay me, a couple $1,000, I would have ranked whatever the hell they told me to do. So, especially when you're just starting out. So I don't want to get you in the mind frame to just start saying no to business and no to money. There's money to be made and you need money, take the money and run. But when you get a little bit more seasoned and more experienced and the business is coming in, then obviously you can be a little bit more selective with who you choose to work with and what are the things that you do. So I don't want you to get the wrong impression that I'm just saying don't ever take clients with like Weebly. It's just my preference at the moment with the position I'm in. Don't you agree, Stephen?
Yeah, and I mean, what I do is this. I advise my client in what I think is in their best interest because I'm a consultant and that's what my job is. I am an expert in something and that's why they're paying me money. So what I explain to my potential client is that there are so many benefits to using a WordPress content management system that I really would be doing them a disservice if I were to attempt to stay with whatever they had, if it was Wix or Weebly or whatever. And so what I'll do typically is work them up a very, very reasonable quote. If this is a 5 to 10 page website on Weebly and like a normal kind of a small business site, I can have that converted to WordPress for like $200 on Upwork all day long and twice on Sunday. A bit for bit copy, have it set up really nicely, and so, at the end of the day too, if you're new, and you're going through all of our training and you're trying to rank a Weebly site, every third or fourth training you do, you're going to want to punch someone because you won't be able to use it because we have so much that has to do with WordPress. There's so many plugins we use. There's so many things, right? So you're just going to be frustrated. So again, like Cotton said, I agree with him 1,000,000%. If you are just starting and you really need the money, then just do it. Absolutely, just do it. But I would definitely have a strategy, in mind to move them at some point, even if you pay for it. If they're paying you a couple of grand a month and it's going to cost you $200 to move them over or whatever, you can frame that a certain way where you look like their hero. However you have to do it. I'm just telling you, I'm not ranking sites that are on WordPress right now. I'm just not. I'm not even going to try. I don't care. I'm going to move on to the next client. But again, if you're just starting, you need to do what you need to do. And like Derek said, of course, they're really easy to rank. So, there are some benefits too. So, take whichever piece of advice you just heard that, resonates with you and execute.
Yeah.
Hopefully you won't get too many. I don't remember I don't think I've ever had a client with a Weebly or a Wix that was legitimate, like a potential client that was a real prospect.
I've never got one.
Yeah, I've had people talk to me. They'll mention it, but I've never had someone fill out my discovery form that was an actual real client that could have been my client that had something. Now, I've had people with like old ass Yahoo local or whatever that's called, those ugly Yahoo page builders and those GoDaddy page builders things. Yeah. And I just tell them, look, you need a real website. Aren't you embarrassed? And they are, right? They're embarrassed with the thing at the bottom. They know it looks, they know it looks like crap. Right. So it's not a tough sell, not a tough sell.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If they're going to invest in SEO, they might as well invest in, something that's going to convert.
Yeah. And the biggest key to just kind of telling them that is, you don't want to invest. You don't want to build your house on someone else's land and make your money that way. And that's like what it is with Weebly's, Wix, and all this other stuff is, if you're just making Weebly more powerful, they could be investing that in their own web property, their own digital property, investing that money back into that to get it more powerful. They have control of it. No one can take it away from them. So that's the real reason why I like staying away from them, or would steer a client away if you really want to know the real answer. It's just, people that say that they want to build their, like people that goes, oh man, I can rank the snot out of YouTube videos. Well, good for you. They can be taken down with 4 people together. I get me, Steve, and Derek, and one other person with four clicks. We can take out your YouTube video. So I don't like doing business on things that can come down. When 4 people get together and just decide they want it to come down, once again, it's building your house on someone else's property and how you make your money. I'm not saying that I don't think YouTube's cool, but that's why I don't know how to use Wirecast. I just upload my video to YouTube. Someone wants to take it down, click it off, just do whatever. Then I'm fine with that. I'd like to use that YouTube video with SEO or for clients to get a link back to my website. And it's just another piece of material that they can look at. It's a video about the company. So that's just my take on it too. Okay. I've seen this question in the Facebook group, and this is going to be a long one here. So guys, just take a deep breath. I've been contacted by someone who is in the entertainment industry. I explained to him what I do, SEO, and he gave me his manager's contact information, which means he deflected you and didn't take you seriously. He just said, go talk to this guy. He asked me to give his manager a call and explain to him what I should do, and explain to him what I do and that we can do business from there. Hold on, I'm getting stuck here. This thing's not even scrolling up right. Before I contact his manager, I researched him on Google and YouTube to see what is already out there and to see how I can help him. My question to you is, 1, has anyone done SEO for an artist? Who cares? I don't pay attention to niches. And what keywords would you do besides their name, or how hard would it be to rank them in Google? I want to make sure that you can deliver. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to toss over to those guys. First of all, I don't take deflections very well. So I contacted a guy, and he said, hey, I might know a guy that knows a guy. Might need some SEO. Why don't you call him? Why don't you go pitch him? What he basically did is, here, doggy, go fetch. So I don't like that. I said, look, have your manager call me. And first of all, you guys need to fill out my discovery form. Because once I have that filled out, then I know they're serious. Then I know they want to do business, and I have all the keywords that I need and all the information that I need for them so I can do business. I still to this day will not chase people like this. Now, if you're new, chase all you want. But to get a hold of this guy and to sell him, 9 times out of 10, he's going to be like, yeah, I don't know how you got my number. Well, Jim didn't tell you what. And then you're like pitching him. He doesn't know what's going on. Now you're trying to force him over to something that he doesn't know. So if your first contact is not willing to give you a warm intro to the second guy, it's not a deal that I would take seriously. That's just me. I don't waste my time like that chasing what ifs. And guys, please, for the love of Jesus, stop asking the question, has anyone done SEO for solar panels? Guess what? I have not, but I can successfully do SEO for any solar panel company in the world. Have I done SEO for bras and panties? I have not, but I promise you that I can. Have I done it for, how to save the whales? I have not, but I don't need to talk to someone that has. I research and develop, and I do SEO based on my own set of rules, my own research, and my own criteria. And my advice is there are no niches, just like there is no spoon. It's just money. It's SEO, it's traffic, it's finding the right keywords to throw the traffic over to that. That's my advice. Derek and Steven, I will throw that over to you.
Steven.
I got
You nothing?
I got nothing.
I mean, yeah. Like I'm the exact same way. I'm not like a door-to-door vacuum salesman. So I don't do the sales on our end, but we don't approach companies. So it's usually coming the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times what happens, and I'm not saying that this is exactly what happened here, but it just reminded me of this. A lot of times when you're starting out, you'll get some prospects, or it looks like a prospect that is really exciting to you. Maybe a buddy of yours from college or something. He has a friend who's a millionaire, and he wants you to do this or that. And when you're starting off, it's absolutely understandable that would be exciting to you, and you start thinking, hey, I want to hit my 10K a month. If I just could close this one deal, then I'd have my 10K. And so what happens, though, I'll tell you, is 99.9% of the time, you spend a ton of time and energy and resources chasing down this deal that never closes. And instead, you could have been chasing down, normal kind of deals that you actually will close. And so I'm not trying to be negative or tell you not to, go for things, not to get excited about prospects. But you have to really stop and ask yourself. You have to be honest with yourself and say, was this a real deal? Because I can't tell you, probably every person I've ever coached in client SEO ever has had this exact issue where, some friend of a friend of a friend of a friend or something, has got this huge deal and it's going to blow up, and they typically want me to be their partner on it. And, they're all excited. And all of those times, I think I remember one that actually worked. And it was actually a relative that he had. Mm-hmm. So all the other times it didn't work, and all they did was waste sometimes weeks, chasing, the rainbow. And so I would say that, do what we teach, pull people through your discovery form. If they're not willing to do that, then move on is what I would do. I would say do what Cotton does and move on.
Very, very wise words from like Stephen Floyd. I've seen so many new people. And please don't do this. And we're not going to we might go over this a little bit next week, but I'm just going to kind of expand out on this. This is an absolute, should be a commandment, but it's not. This might be in the commandments of client getting next week. This is mindset today. We're going to go over the commandments next week, but one of them is don't sit on one deal. I've seen so many people. They go, well, I got three deals I might be getting. So they stop everything. They stop trying to prospect. They stop trying to get new clients. They stop everything. And it's like they act like they got a marlin on the hook and they're fighting it. Oh God, I got to get this, that. And ultimately what they do is they waste 2 weeks of their time. They don't close anyone, and their whole prospects coming in have dried out. They have nothing. And now they have to start all over again. And that 2 weeks really turns into 4 weeks. So I'm telling you, even if, guys, I get me and Bob Proctor sends all of his referrals over to me. Even Bob Proctor hands off people for me to talk to. Cotton, here is Jim Wilson, an attorney that's in Las Vegas. Jim, Cotton, Jim, good luck, and he goes. So what I'm saying is when you get these guys, a warm handoff. It's like, hey, like Jim, great to meet you. Would like to know what I could do for you. But first things first, I need you to fill out this discovery form. I put the link in there and then once you get that done, we're off to the races. Just need some more information about you so I can better serve you. Generally, what I find out, hey, Cotton, thank you. I'll get on that right away. And before I know it, kabam, I've got a discovery form back. So guys, always ask for a warm handoff to anybody that is referring you to anyone. Even I am a referral master when it comes to my clients. I ended up having to close. It was well over 20 plus clients last week for me to make my 600K last month because I lost a whole bunch. Guys, I sent out an email asking to all my clients, asking for referrals. Every single one of them, I've got them trained, gave me the warm handoff. Hey, Cotton, here's Sally. Sally owns the nail salon here in New York City, and she's real interested in getting her website more done. Do you see how much more powerful that is? So guys, and you need to ask when you get your referrals or when you're talking to a company or anyone to get that warm handoff. And you can say, well, here's this number, call this. And you can just say, I prefer that you include us in an email and you warm hand off me to him so he knows that you're recommending me. So I'm not calling him up out of the blue. Now, if that makes sense, guys, if you can do that, give me make sense. All your referrals, I want you to do warm handoffs. Warm handoffs. You just don't do, well, here, I refuse to take referrals from my clients or anyone that just goes, hold on, you got a piece of paper? Here's 5 numbers. Here you go. Go get them, boy. It's like, what?
Can I throw in one more thing, Cotton?
Sure, go ahead.
Not if I throw in one more thing. I can just see you like throwing a lead like you're gonna go fetch it. But people act like that. So
go get them, Floyd.
Because that's what they act like. But one thing I want to just real quick, since we're on the topic, guys, I want to tell you, and there's a lot of different ways you can describe things, but I want to describe to you one particular type of potential client, and it's what we call the puppy dog. Okay, and the puppy dog, what it's called doesn't matter, but what the puppy dog is the puppy dog is the potential client that says all the right things. They're so interested. They do all the things. They ask buying questions. They look like they have the money. They're so interested in it. And what you need to understand is when you're selling someone, you're giving them a lot of your attention and time. So these puppy dogs are people who never are going to buy your product. They're never going to do it, but they look like they are. Man, do they look like they are. But what they're doing really is they're just enjoying your attention. Okay? And so this is what's going to tell you the difference between these two is exactly what Cotton just told you. If they are doing and saying all the right things and you're just like, oh, man, I got this one, man. I'm going to go ahead and just put this in the net win column for the month, but they won't fill out your form or they won't work into your velvet ropes, then that's what you got. That's what you're looking at, because a real buyer, a real prospect is going to do the things that you want them to do. It's going to work, with you. So be careful of those because, these types of buyers can really eat up a lot of your time, man. When I first started doing this, I can't tell you how many, like I told you, I do all my closes in person. I don't do things over the phone. I go meet with people. I probably wasted, a couple 100,000 hours, not 100,000, but a couple 100 or 1,000 hours driving to Dallas, right, which is an hour for me, 45 minutes, sitting there, meeting a client for an hour, hour and a half, then driving home, hour and a half. I can't tell you how many times I did that 3 hours, and I just knew I had him, man. Just knew I had him. I was so proud of myself, I'm doing the happy dance, on the way home, and guess what? Never, a lot of those never closed, right? And if I had only known about the velvet ropes back then, if I'd just known, then I would have saved myself all that time and energy because now I do what Cotton teaches, and it does exactly what he tells you it'll do. The people who aren't serious, you don't waste time on. The people who are serious have an opportunity to make some money with you. So just, man, as much as possible, stick with Cotton's training. Just do what he tells you. And I'm telling you this as having someone that's done this for a long, 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 long time. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Great. Good. Hopefully these guys have learned a little bit about the warm handoff to make sure that all your referrals are done that way. People want to know about Social Explosion. Am I still using it? on some things. I mean, it's not necessary. And for those of you new people, just ignore the question. Derek, what about you?
Yeah, I still use it on pretty much every PBN and every money site. So
Sure. Great. We will get Steven. You using it?
What plugin?
Social explosion.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that.
No.
No, I don't. No.
Trying to get to see if there's any other question that we need to get to. Here we go. This is an interesting one. I'm going to go ahead and tackle this one, even though it's going to be kind of controversial. Is buying SEO leads a good way to go or a waste of time? I will let the other guys answer that first.
I thought you just said you were going to answer it. Me personally, I find it a waste of time because most of them are being resold 100 times anyways. So by the time you phone them up, they don't know who you are. It's also it's kind of going back to like the hand warm off,
Yeah.
They don't know who you are. They don't know, are they even really interested in SEO, or are they just, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
You could be buying leads from someone who has a city SEO site that could be really good. Who knows? But it could go 100 different ways. But any generic lead seller is going to be crap usually.
Steven, how about them SEO leads? You dig in and swim around in them?
Oh man, I gotta tell you. I mean, I've got quite a bit of experience with this. So probably starting back in the very first year that I was doing SEO, I started, investigating this, and I probably have tried at least a dozen different ones, and I can say that my return on investment has been exactly $0.00. However, I have wasted a lot of time and energy. So there was an effect. So, and I did lose some money too. So I lost some money and a lot of time and energy. But if anyone finds one that actually works, go ahead and sign me up. I'll be ready for it. But so far, and there's several prominent ones actually, and I'm not going to name names, but there's one particular one that comes to mind that comes across your Facebook feed probably 50 times a day. If you're like me and it irritates the crap out of me, no, their leads don't work either. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying no. I mean, the closest thing I've got is like, I've actually closed some people off of Thumbtack, and technically that's buying leads. So, but other than that, nope, zero success.
Great. How would you guys like to hear how you can make $1,000 off of SEO leads? Give me hashtag hell yeah. I want to see it. Now we got 500 people on. I need to see about 200 people. I want to see about at least 200 people. Give me hashtag hell yeah. I got to see them flying in. How you could make $1,000 off selling SEO leads. Want them. We're getting them slow here, Steven. People are starting to wake up. They hear money. Look at this. Wow. Here we go. Come on, guys. We got a few more to go here. Few more to go. I'm not on my pace here. I need about 500 hashtags for a start. I'm on a hashtag goal here. So there we go. They keep flying in. Well, guys, I'm going to tell you how to do it. Get in a time machine, call me, and I would give you $1,000, and then I would be angry. That's how you can make $1,000 off that. They're worthless. I've wasted $1,000 when I first started out in my year one doing one thing, talking about shortcuts. There is no shortcuts. Zero. So if you want to make $1,000 with SEO leads, start up an SEO leads company. You'll rip off everyone one time. And that'll be it. And then you'll be out of business and you'll have rip-off reports on you everywhere. I wasted a lot of money testing a lot of this stuff. And guys, I could tell you this right now. If there was such a thing as SEO leads red hot, I'd have already found it and I'd be using them. But there's not. So that's how you make $1,000 through SEO leads. Floyd, I kind of scared you for a second, didn't I?
I had a sneaky suspicion where you're going with this. It's funny. It's funny. There's some people that you and I both know that are not in OMG right. that sell these things, and so I'm going to make a bold statement about Cotton, with Cotton being here present. If Cotton can't close these stupid leads that these people are selling, they're not going to be closed. You and me certainly aren't going to do it. So when I see these people come on and say, "Oh yeah, I closed 6 out of these 10 leads. These are great," I know one thing for sure: those two people are working together. Okay, so you need to realize that. You need to realize that when you see stuff like that in other groups, that's what's going on, guys. Exactly. That's exactly what it's the same way when the guy comes in and says, "Look, I ranked number 1 in 30 minutes with my new plugin," and then links to it. Or I'm sorry, he's saying he bought one, right? And then someone comes in and goes, "Well, do tell. I'd love to know what that plugin is too." And he says, "Well, it happens to be this plugin." Shocker. That's not an accident. Exactly. That's all intentional, guys. So yeah, skip the shortcuts. And if any of you find SEO leads that are that actually work, yeah, please send me a PM. I'd be happy.
Yeah, and guys, the reason I did that, I just really wanted to hit it home for you. Don't stop looking for shortcuts. And we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight with everything. But we've did Q&A for an hour and 20 minutes. I think it's time to jump into the lesson. And guys, here's what I can tell you. Stephen and Derek have not seen these topics, but they're going to comment on them. What I will do for the generosity of them, I will lead off the topic. I'll let them interject on what these rules are. So I worked on these over the last couple days, just enough for us to make sense. It's going to be the mindset of what you need to do that if you're going to be successful in client SEO. Next week, we're going to go over the list of truths or the myths of client SEO and facts. We're going to have, Stephen, that's exactly what we'll do. We'll have a fact or fiction with client SEO with serious lessons behind it. It's just not going to be something that's going to be very easy where we answer it, move on to it. We're going to have a fact or fiction with client SEO that's really going to open a lot of people's eyes and answer a lot of questions about client SEO. Tonight, we want to make sure that I want you to think about this all next week before the next one. And guys, what I want to know is if you really, 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 now this is something that I really want to ask. I want everyone to be honest, openly and honest with this. Guys, how many of you feel that you were born to do sales? I want you to give me hashtag yes. If you were not born to do sales, and if you think you're not good at sales, give me a hashtag no. I really want to know. This is very important. So, and just be utterly honest. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And guys, I would really like to see from everybody. This is important. I need your participation for me to teach you effectively. And Stephen, we're getting a lot of no's here, as you can see.
Yeah. Honestly, guys, I can tell you something again. I've seen this, it's very common for someone who is a good SEO to not be the kind of person who's a good salesperson. Well, it's just so common. It's rare. Like Cotton is a rarity. Cotton is a fantastic SEO and a fantastic salesperson, but he's like one in maybe not one in a million or one in 100 million or something.
Right. Well, we're letting them all flow in right now. Let me get this back out here so we can get it a little bit better. Hold on. This is going real slow here. God, what just happened?
You're breaking Facebook again.
Yeah, I just did. I can't even get out of this. There we go. So what we got in here is we got a lot of no's. We'll lighten the screen up here. A lot of no's. We can see all the no's right here. We can get more comments coming on right here. So a lot of no's.
Notice the yeses. Hey, Cotton, sorry. Notice the yeses are mostly not just yes. They got to throw something else on there.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the personality or what, right?
Exactly.
The person who says yes can't just say yes. They gotta throw on something, right? So funny.
This is
to see the personalities,
It's acting way up. So, okay. Here we go, guys. We're going to get started with the commandment number 1 of mindset, which is this. Guys, I want you to look at what you posted. What you say about you believe.
Holy crap.
You believe. So if you sit and tell me that you're not good at client SEO, you're not. You're never going to be. I don't care how much training I give you. I don't care how I teach you with this or that. what you say you believe. So for all of you that says here, listen, you're an OMG, anything is possible. And let's go through here and just look of all the no's that we got. But guys, it all starts out with your mind. If I sit and I tell you, hey, listen, I'm going to sell you OMG, you're going to make a ton of money. Guys, here's what I can promise you. You can make more money, more net profit, faster, scale up harder, scale up stronger than any other method in SEO with client SEO. That's how Steven makes his money. That's how Derek makes his money. That's how I make my money. That's how Fletch makes his money. And guys, it's very hard to find people that are making $100,000 a month consistently in affiliate, that are like doing it in lead gen. There's some people that are, but these are anomalies. What we do have is we have hundreds and hundreds of people walking around OMG killing it with client SEO. But here's the problem that you've always been told. Here's the reason why you say that you weren't meant to be sales. Because your idea of sales has been skewed. Since you were raised as a little baby, you're used to seeing used car salesmen or guys, you're stopping to think that sales, you know what I think of sales? When I go to the mall and I see these chicks or these guys trying to sell you a back massager. Hey, you, come here. You want to try this? Oh, it feels good. Come here. Hey, you, come here. Or they got a hot iron, or they're trying to do girls like a curling iron or something. Hey, ma'am, you want to come over here and try this? Come on, ma'am, come here. No, come here. You're like, no, thank you. No, thank you. You guys always believe that sales are invading. And it's made you feel uncomfortable because people that have sold have made you feel uncomfortable. But what I need you to get out of the mind frame of, guys, is that one, nothing is more powerful in this world than what you whisper to yourself. So I want to tell you right now, if you believe that you are not meant for sales, I believe you. I believe you. So now, I want to ask this question again after I let Steven and Derek speak. So, Steven, what do you have to add?
Well, it's kind of funny, and actually a couple people noticed this on the thread. I actually posted a sermon from Joel Osteen yesterday it's called The Power of I Am, and it's exactly. And I don't believe in coincidences. Nothing is coincidental, so it's funny, because you and I didn't talk about this. We didn't. Like you said, I had no idea what you were going to do, but we were thinking in the same brain. All of you know I'm a licensed professional therapist. Probably most of you do. So, there's cognitive things even beyond what Cotton is saying. But yeah, basically, if you're going to use negative self-talk on yourself, the most powerful voice that you listen to in your world is your voice. So if your voice is speaking negativity and death and lack and poverty and sickness and all these things over yourself, that's what you're moving toward. And not to get off on a tangent, but what Cotton said is absolutely true. Everyone on this call can be a good salesperson. You just have to start believing it. You have to start, getting educated in it, and you will be. I don't think there's any such thing as a born pretty much anything except maybe some, athletic stuff. I wasn't a born salesperson. I learned some skills, and now I do what I do. But really powerful, Cotton.
Well,
really, really powerful stuff, man.
Before I ask Derek, I just want to do one more thing, guys. When you say, no, I'm not good at sales, you also, I want you to imagine your best friend. You want to support your best friend more than anything. Like if he gets a brand new job, or, if he's broken up with his girlfriend, or she's broken up with her girlfriend, or a bad marriage, or just, something tragic happens, you want to support. How do you think the brain works when you say, I'm not good at sales? You're going to try to prove yourself right.
Yeah.
And that's deadly. That is deadly. And so what you do is you half-ass it, and you come in to either OMG or you come into whatever training you're at. You're like, well, I told them I wasn't good at sales, so I'm going to give it a try, but I can tell you, I already know. Well, you're right. I believe you. You've already failed. Because you want to make yourself right. So guys, when you say something to yourself, you also want to make yourself right. No one likes to be wrong. No one does. So when you go, well, I can't be wrong about myself. I can't turn over a new leaf. Yes, you can. It all starts with just saying, wait a minute, I can be good at anything. And I'm going to show you today how what we're doing in OMG is not waving people down in a mall. It's not being the sleazy car salesman. It's not what you think. Sales is not what you think when we get done today. And that's what I want to instill within you. So all the ideas that you've had about it, all the uncomfortabilities that you felt through someone trying to sell you isn't what we're teaching here. And that's it. Derek, do you have anything to add before we move on?
I think people are probably a lot better at it than they think they are. I mean, it's just because, you're implanted in yourself. You think you have a pre-notion of what sales are. But a lot of times, and like, I don't think I'm a people person. I don't think I'm a salesperson at all. But, like a lot of times they'll just be at a wedding and some guy asks, what do I do? And I end up selling the guy on something I didn't know I was even selling, So
right.
It just kind of works out that way just because you're going to be more enthusiastic about something that, you're actually interested in. You're not trying to sell something that people don't want. You're selling something that people actually do want,
Right.
So I don't know. I just find it just leads in naturally, especially if it's something you care about,
Totally agree. Guys, what I'd like for you to do right now is after we have went through this, I want you to be honest with you. How many yeses do we have now? Are you good at sales? Now, if you still believe it, guys, there's nothing I can do for you. Just give me a hashtag yes, give me a hashtag no. Guys, anything in life that you want all comes down to you saying, what? I can do this. Are you kidding me? Get out of here. It's easy. It's talking. It's talking. And we're like getting a lot of yeses here. A lot of them. So guys, always remember, be real careful what you whisper to yourself. And you know what? You can trick yourself better than anybody. Don't make yourself be right. Just be right. One of the things that I love talking to David Mills, and him and I are a lot on the same wavelength a lot. And we always talk about this. We're able to detach ourselves from our body and look at it logically without any emotion or without any favoritism about how to make decisions. You've got to do that to yourself. Like, wait a minute. Anyone can do anything we want. Anything can do anything we want. I'm not going to convince myself so I can be right. Oh, I'll show Cotton. I told him I'm not, and I'm not. Well, then, good. Then you're setting yourself up to fail. So we've got a lot of yeses, and everyone's seeing it right here. That is right. Everyone's on board with it. We will move on to the next one, which I believe that Derek, no, he didn't cover this. One of the other ones. Right. Guys, to get the mindset of like client getting, you must portray an image of authority when you're talking to anybody. And that first comes with one, making sure, I've always used this analogy. And when you're in sales, people can smell when you're just not experienced, if you let them. So what I want you to do is to take some mental exercises, guys. And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine this. Right now, you have got out of your $300,000 car. You just gave it to valet. You walk through, the doorman opens up the door. As soon as you open up, you smell amazing fragrances that are in the lobby. It's a marble floor. You walk through. You press the elevator. Everyone's saying hello to you. Hey there, Stephen. Hey there, Derek. How you doing, guys? It's whatever. You walk in, the elevator guy says, oh, no, Mr. Grammer, we've got it for you. It's the 42nd floor, right? Absolutely. You go up in there. Everyone's waiting you at your office. You walk in, your receptionist hands you, oh, Mr. Grammer, I've got your coffee just the way you've wanted it. Oh, no, thanks. Hey, you know what? Make sure tomorrow that you get some for yourself too. I just don't want it for me. You go in your office and you sit down and you start your day. Now, let me ask you this. Are you acting like that person? Are you acting like them? So what I'm trying to tell you is this. If you're not running your business, and if you're not studying, and if you're not making expansions, and if you're not taking OMG as serious as if you had $100 million SEO agency, why not? Why not? Why not? And when you start acting and talking and doing that, you're going to start to find out that the decisions you make aren't the same decisions that you made today. Now, guys, I want you to be very, very honest with me right now, because this is all about honesty and clarity. Guys, if that changed your perception of how you're living your life right now, how you're going to deal with clients and everything, how many of you are really living, acting, and treating yourselves without the money? I'm like talking about you're portraying yourself as if you were running a $100 million SEO agency. Are you doing it? Yes or no? Yes or no? Because one of the things that I knew when I first started out is I had to portray myself like that for people to take me seriously. I had to walk into a room and people knew that I had control of it. And guys, I had no control. None. I was talking to someone a couple weeks ago very close to me, and she says, well, the kids will want this and the kids will want that, and I got to take the kids there and I got to take the kids there. And I said, let me ask you a question. If you were the CEO of $100 million, if this was your SEO firm, $100 million SEO firm, would you still be making these same decisions? And she said, no, I wouldn't. Well, then why would you make them any differently right now? Now, there's like some people that are going to be like Stephen Floyd, who is a very strong family man. And he is living his life right now, no different than he would live it, whether he had $100 million a month company, or whether he is making what he's making now. There's just some people that are just built like that. But if you're not, you've got to get inside your mind right now and you've got to ask yourself, what would I be doing differently if I did this? So the best piece of advice that I can give you is this. Guys, I want you to think about it. Now, I know that Stephen and I do sales different way. His way is right. My way is right. I'm not contradicting what he says. I love him like a brother. We have not one ill will toward each other whatsoever. I respect him. I've learned so much from him. It's not. But guys, what I'm here to tell you is this. If you're that $100 million CEO, are you going to be driving out to meeting clients and yes-sirring them all the time? Are you? Give me a yes or give me a no. I just want to know. You're not. And that's why I refuse to. I refuse to because it is a waste of my time. Now, if you're doing local clients and if you like meeting with people, that's different. But guys, there's a difference in being at one state of income, and I made $623,000 net. Not net. It wasn't from a dashboard. It was hard cash I can pull out of the bank. It's cash that I can just bathe in. It isn't speculative. It isn't any of that. So what I'm saying is, guys, is the mayor of, let's say, Nashville, Tennessee, is he going to come visit your house to talk about potholes? Well, he might if he wants something. But guys, the most important people in their industry, what they do is simple. They act with the position of authority. I don't want to be anybody's best friend. I'm not here to do best friend. I'm here to change your business. I'm here to alter what you do. I am here. I just want to change everything to where their lives are better. That's what I'm here. I'm not their friend. I'm here to be honest, and I'm here to give them direct advice, and I'm here to rank them. And I'm also, my number one goal is to turn these people into my sales force. There's no one more powerful than when you get a business owner and when he's sending you people because he technically works for you for free. He's, just send out one email. He just sends out an email and gets 5 clients for you. That's what it's about, giving the best service possible. I don't need to be people's friends to do that. I don't need to go to their houses. I don't need to send them a cake. I don't need to send them gift certificates. All the typical sales stuff that you've heard, I have abolished. I don't do any of it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm saying that I don't. I'm on a course right now where I'm testing out things because I'm stretched what one human can do. Now, if I had to sit down and do all that sort of stuff and be a typical salesperson, that's what I would be. I've chosen not to. We're going to get into that a little bit later. So hopefully that makes sense. Guys, if this makes sense, that you can walk into and be that $100 million agency, give me #million. I want to see it. I want to make sure you guys are fired up and that you're seeing it right now. I want you to think different, act different. I want you to act like and make decisions as if you do own that 100 million, because guess what? I did when I first started. When I started that company, it's now a $5 million plus a year company. That's how it got there. Mindset, hard work. I worked like if it was already that. And when you do, things change. So, Stephen, Derek, you guys have anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with everything you said. You know, it's funny looking back. You know, your business goals and mine are really completely different. It was, for me, it's more about time, making a certain amount of money and having a certain amount of free time. But if you are really wanting to do like what Cotton does, if that's, you know, if you want to build an agency, if you want to build, if you want to make millions from this, you got to do what he's telling you to do. You know, because it's just going to work. You know, it's really weird, Cotton. This is getting a little bit freaky now. You and I have not talked about this. None of this. I've never seen this slideshow or nothing. And this is the second thing now. So this weekend I went and talked to a friend of mine. He's a alumni at a big fraternity, and he asked me to come speak to them. It was some people, and it was about sales. And guess what? It's so funny. I actually did like a little skit where I came in and I was kind of dressed kind of casually. Maybe, you know, a little bit street, maybe a little bit, to lack of a better term, and kind of did my sales pitch, and then I went and I changed into my normal stuff, you know, my suit and tie, and did the sales pitch, you know, to kind of show them, say, do you see the difference there? You know, you see the difference there. You know, you're not going to take that first person very seriously. So, you know, like Cotton said, you know, even in therapy, you know, there's a thing called act as if, right? It's an actual therapy, where if people are wanting to be a certain way or think a certain way, one of the things you have them do is you have them start acting that way. If you want to be someone who's, you know, really fit and healthy, then you have them start acting that way. So what does someone that looks like that do? How do they eat? How do they, you know, dress? How do they work out, right? And they start doing these things. And as you start doing those, your brain starts to adapt to it. So, again, everything that Cotton is saying is 1,000,000% correct. And, you know, you have a great role model here. You know, you can't reinvent the wheel. It's just not the best way to do it. When you have a role model like Cotton that's making as much money as he is, and just doing things as a single person, it's almost it's just mind-bending what he's able to do. Then you just got to do it, man. You know, all the stuff that he does, pretty much, I think everything that Cotton does, I do now since I've met him. There may be some exceptions, but you know, pretty much everything that I do has changed since I met Cotton, because his ways are better. They just are, and it's not, you know, one of us is good or bad or whatever, but his ways are just better. So, you know, you've got the roadmap, or he's laying it out for you. You know, just start following it, man.
Sure.
You know, find people who are successful and then copy them, man. Just copy the crap out of them. You want to be the best SEO on the planet? Copy Cotton.
Derek, do you have anything to add, buddy?
No, you guys covered it really well. I mean, I don't even do the sales part of my company, but
Great, thank you. Guys, I just want to bring something. Stephen made me realize this. I really need to say it. If your goal is to make as much money as possible, then follow my footpaths. That's just it. Stephen has a more enriched life. I'm single. I'm not married. I have no children. My work is my life. That's my family. You know, Stephen and Derek and and Fletch and Joe, that's my family. I like to talk to these guys every day. So I'm able to do this. But Stephen has a very different goal. He has daughters, he has a wife, and you know what? Stephen loves them very much. And his reward is he wants to make enough money to just spend as much time with his family, watch them grow, be an amazing husband, be a great role model for his daughters. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is his riches. And he will tell you that it is. So Stephen just does things in a way to where he is making just as much money as I am, because Stephen would give up all of my money just to spend more time with his family and his daughters. So it's whatever your goal is. What we're talking about right now is money, and what Stephen does, and it's perfectly fine. I respect him for it, is Stephen doesn't want to look back with regrets on how he was a father and a husband. Isn't that right, Stephen?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, and I don't want to get off the diatribe or anything because that's not what this is for. But I had a point in my life where I would consider myself a workaholic, and I was missing my family and missing my kids growing up, and I had an epiphany, and decided to change my life, and so that's where I'm at now. So there's no amount of money that would get me to work, 16-hour days or whatever. It doesn't exist. If Mark Cuban came to me today and offered me billions of dollars or whatever, I wouldn't do it. I would after my kids are gone. When once my two girls are away and gone in college, I jump all over it. but right now, that's just not. I make enough money to do everything that I want to do and provide my family the life that we want to. I mean, honestly, the difference between the money I make and the difference that between what I make and what Cotton makes is huge. But what I can do with my money versus what he can do with his is really not that big. Honestly, I can pretty much do anything that a normal American would want to do on the money I make. Cotton's money is like legacy money. It's like buy an island in the Caymans money. It's like be crazy money. But there's not a thing that I want that I can't afford. There's not a car that I can't buy. There's not a trip I can't take. So again, it just depends on where. But I'll tell you, if I had to start it all over again, I would take a Cotton approach, because if I had done what Cotton did, I would have done it for 2 or 3 years and then semi-retired. To be honest with you, the money he's making, he can work it like he's doing for a couple of years and then retire and then just do whatever he wants forever. So again, appreciate that, Cotton. We definitely have different ways of doing things, but again, if there's ever I do one thing or Cotton does another thing, do Cotton's way, because even on the short term, it's going to be better, right? There's always benefit and loss on either side, but do what Cotton does. That's the hashtag.
Great. Well, guys, we've covered that. Let everyone speak. We will move on to the next one. I'm going to be honest with you. Even when I'm going to click on this, I even forgot what it is, so it's going to be a surprise to me. With the right system, right product, anyone can be great at sales. And what I want to go over to, guys, is I want to know if you really believe that. How many of you truly, and guys, it's cool that you guys are posting your families in here. You guys got some beautiful families. And guys, if you believe this, I'm just curious. With the right system, the right product, anyone can be great at sales. And guys, this is what I'm going to tell you. I want to see everyone participating here. Guys, this is why. How hard is it to sell an iPhone in an Apple store? I mean, do you really believe that those guys are salespeople? But they are. I mean, they are. I mean, right, guys, that's just it. When you have the right system and the right product, anyone's a salesperson. I mean, so just imagine where you go into, if you walk into Dick's Sporting Goods or Sports Authority, or, there's a couple other chain ones that I'm missing out on. If you walk in there and you're looking for an Under Armour hoodie, is it real hard to sell one? No, guys, what I'm saying is that all these people that you see, they're $14 an hour, $20 an hour, employees. They don't consider themselves to be salespeople, but they're in sales. When you go in, when you look for a new, iMac, you look for a new iPhone, guys, I'm just telling you, the right product. But guys, here's what I want to tell you. They have a system set up. Everyone knows that where to get an iPhone from. So they have a system that's set up where, you go to Best Buy, you go to the Apple store, or, and outside of that, I have no idea. Those are the two places I know I can get me an iPhone. So that's where I go. That the system's set up. And when I get there, guys, when they go, I need to upgrade my phone. Oh, well, let me sell you one. I mean, if that's selling, but that is selling. So what I'm saying is sales can be made that easy, and there's people that can get commission off of it. Now, one of the things that I want to tell you about OMG is, guys, here is what I want you to get in your mind. I want you to get over everything. Every business, guys, tell me this. Is there any business in the world that doesn't matter if they're at the mall, it doesn't matter if they're downtown New York City with thousands of people passing them, or if there's a website or anywhere, is there any business that's growing and thriving going to tell you that they have too much traffic? Is that the case? I mean, think about it. Is there anyone going to tell you that they got too much traffic? Well, just give me a no if you believe. I mean, if you believe yes. I mean, guys, it's like literally, guys, no one's going to tell you that. So, guys, we sell traffic to businesses. We get them in a position in a search engine to where they get more visibility, they get more traffic, which means they make more money. So, guys, we have a commodity. But not only that, guys, but it's also everything about in sales is a pressure point. Every sale is made through either 3 different pillars. We're going to talk more about this next week, which is pleasure, pain, and comfort. Pleasure, pain, and comfort. Almost every decision you make in your life is based on these 3 pillars. So, let's say you walk up to Starbucks and there's a big long line that's coming outside of Starbucks. Starbucks is pleasure. But is the pain and uncomfort of waiting in that line, does that outweigh the pleasure? How many times have you guys just said, I'm not waiting in that line? You really wanted to eat at this restaurant. You seen the wait was too long. You made a decision by these 3 pillars. The pleasure, you showed up, but the pain and the discomfort made you leave. So guys, that's the same way how Apple with their iPhone has you locked in. What they do is, guys, is you need to text your family. You need to take your phone call from that family. So guys, how many of you have broke your phone or your phone just went out and you went crazy? And you went, like you had to get that thing fixed ASAP. Give me hashtag ASAP if that's how you've ever felt. Is a panic. Come on, guys. I know there's got to be a lot of people out there that's going to do a panic when you have it on your phone. Guys, I can't operate without my phone. I got people calling me. I got text messages coming in. I'm connected to Facebook. I'm like answering questions, if I've got to be sitting somewhere. So guys, guess what? If that phone turns up missing, what we're doing is the pain of not having that phone. Holy crap. I'm going to Apple, Verizon. I'm like going to AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile. I'm like going somewhere and I'm getting another phone based on the pain. So guys, what we do inside of OMG is we show people what's possible, the traffic that they're missing out on, We future pace stuff. So we show them, look, here's how much traffic your competitor's getting. Here's why they'll be in business in 3 years. And possibly this could save your business if you got this sort of traffic. So guys, that's how we sell. Now that I've got that ingrained with you, the right system, you can sell anything. Guys, that's our system. You have something that every business wants, more traffic. Now, whether they can afford it or not is an entirely different discussion. But guys, I need to know this deep down in your heart. Do you believe every business needs our service? Every business. I want you to give me a hashtag hell yeah if you believe that. Because if you don't believe it, you're not on board yet. Every business needs our service. And every one of them. Whether it's a church. Guys, you don't think people visit areas and hunt up churches? Whether it's a bakery, people do that. Every business needs our service. So now we have a service that everyone needs. It's in high demand. It's in very high demand. Now, here's where the system comes into play. Guys, if you haven't watched the Velvet Ropes training, this is gonna open up so many people's eyes. I don't sell people. Now, guys, tell me if you believe me. Do you guys believe that I really don't sell people? Give me no way that you don't believe me or I believe. I'm like curious to see how many of you think I'm being truthful. I don't sell. I don't sell. And so guys, come on guys, I really want to see how many of you really believe that I don't sell. People really believe that I don't. Guys, I am not. What I want to get you out of your head, I am not. And no, I'm going to show you why I don't sell. And guys, here's why. What you believe in selling is not what I call selling. I call selling making people uncomfortable and invading. I don't invade. I have people that I gently bring into me. And I'm going to tell you with the system that I have that you should never fear. I don't like building systems that aren't built for every human to excel with. And I'm going to tell you why I created the discovery form. I'm going to give you some examples of why this system is so powerful. Guys, if you have anybody, when Derek is talking at that wedding and then the guy goes, yeah, I'm really interested in SEO and this, what do? Go to my discovery page, fill it out, and then I'll get all the information that I need. And then I will give you a video analysis and send it back to you. No matter what it is, guys. I'm walking up to someone at the mall. Hey, what do you do? Well, I'm interested. Oh, go fill out my discovery form. And then when you do, guys, no matter where I go to an Audi dealer. I run into someone that's buying a brand new R8. Oh man, that's a cool car you got. Well, yeah, we start talking. Oh, I'm interested. What can you do for me? Well, if you go to my website, fill out my discovery form, and I'm going to give you the exact pitch right now. Someone walks up to me and they said, you know what? I understand that you do search engine optimization, or a phone call. Absolutely. Are you interested in getting more traffic to your business? Sure. Yeah, that sounds great. Well, kind of what we do is kind of have a policy that, we're kind of like a doctor. We really need to diagnose you and to find out exactly what we can do for you, or even if you're a good fit for us to work with. So if you can go to my website and click on the discovery form and fill that out, that will give me the information that I need so that we can see if we can work together and what we can do for you or how much we can improve you. Once you get it filled out, give me about 24 to 72 business hours, and I'm going to do a free video analysis that is literally going to give you more information about your company's web presence than you've ever had before. Based on you taking a look at it, give me a call back. How does that sound? And they go, oh, sure. Guys, they go fill it out. And now I'm going to get to the next question here. Guys, what is more powerful in sales? Listening or talking? Listening or talking? Just give me hashtag listening or hashtag talking. What is more important? I want to see everyone answer this question so everyone is on board with client getting. You're here because you want to know. We're getting a lot of listenings. But guys, come on guys, keep them going. Guys, let me ask you this. If you have a client that just won't listen and they keep talking, and all of you guys are right. Listening is more powerful than talking. But if this client won't shut the hell up, how can you tell them anything? You can't. Guys, this is why the discovery form was built. I'm going to break it down to you very easily. What I've done is I've routed them over there to shut them the hell up. I don't want to listen to what they say. I want them to give me the information that I want without chit-chatting, without them tripping me up, without them asking me questions that I don't know. All of that stuff, guys. I designed this with you in mind. With you in mind. So you're avoided all of these crazy questions that you can't answer. How long? How are you going to do it? Do you do it this way? Well, I heard this. Well, I heard that. Guys, it takes away all of these questions in the beginning. Now, once you get that video done, it is literally 7 to 8 minutes of them shutting the hell up, which you are never going to get live. Ever, ever, ever. Rarely. They're sitting there trying to punch 15 holes into what you're saying when you're talking. They watch that video and they shut up and you've got their attention and they watch it and they're blown away by it. And now that they have enough information, now it's time to talk to them. Now, tell me if that makes sense. I want to know if this makes sense, guys. Give me makes sense. But because, guys, this is exactly our system that I've set up in OMG for everyone to do, which is taking away the most difficult problems that a business owner can ask you and having them, routing them over there. And guys, it's also control. I want to know if they'll follow directions. It still places me in control. Guys, even if you're being aggressive and invading and cold calling, what you're basically doing is you're going to give up control at a certain point when you're cold calling. So it's like, hey, they here, you like sell their pitch. Like, hey, you like came here to me. You like tell me what's going on. Well, guys, you can still route them away from you, whether you're cold calling on the phone, whether you're in person, or whether you're ever routing them to that discovery form. It gains control back over the client, puts them inside your velvet ropes. And it also cuts down on questions. No matter what question, I defer. Oh, well, how much is this going to cost? I have no idea. I'll have to get in and get the analysis done once you fill out that discovery form and get a video out to you. Oh, well, how are you guys going to do it? Once again, I'm really going to need to take a look at the information once you fill out the discovery form. Oh, well, where are you guys located? Oh, we're located in Orlando. Oh, well, whatever question, I deflect back over to the discovery form, which helps you. Now you can sit there and you can pitch them any way you want. Do it under 8 minutes. Pitch them. They get to shut the hell up and listen to you. But not only that, they can show it to their wives. Exactly, guys, the last thing that you want. Here's why I love video analysis. The last thing that you want is to have that business owner try to pitch his other business partner and try to decipher what the hell you said. Do you really want that happening? Yes or no? Be honest. Do you want a mid-level marketing manager to go into their monthly marketing meeting and to try to explain what the hell you're going to do off of watching one video? Who can sell it better, them or you? Come on. So guys, that's why I do a video. They can pass that video to their wife. If it's a local business, here's how much they're going to spend. Or to their superior. Oh, watch this video. This guy made it for him. It's me talking to them now. What I'm doing is I'm encapsulating myself and I'm pitching everyone. Dude, they might fire me up at the marketing meeting, up on the big screen. Here, we're proposing that we move forward with SEO. Let's watch the video from this guy right now. I've had up to 15 people in a room before watch my sales present or watch my video analysis and go, wow, let's all do it. So guys, that's why it's so important, is you can't be everywhere, but that video can by recording it one time. So I've taken all of that away from you. Now these business owners have enough information to make an accurate decision and have a conversation about SEO. Now I open up questions. And guys, it's a pretty simple process. If they don't reply back to me after 3 days of getting the video, I then check to see if they viewed it. I call them back or I email them and said, hey, did you have any questions about the video? Or generally, 6 out of 10 times they're calling me back right away with questions because I leave a tripwire. I don't put the price in the video. That's the last piece of the puzzle. You don't give them the last piece of the puzzle, which is the price. That's it. So with that, guys, remember, the right product, you've already agreed that we've got it. Now, guys, I really, really, really mean this. If you guys feel more powerful after hearing this method, now that you've got a system that know that you don't have to answer questions, you've got time to think about it, you've got time to get it in a video, and then you can talk to them after you've already explained things. And if you feel a little bit more powerful about sales right now, give me #powerful, because that's what I want you to feel like. Anyone can sell an OMG with the system that we have built. Really, really want to see that. And if you don't post it if you don't mean it. But guys, if you do, I just want to see how many of you are on board right now that you really don't have to sell. You really don't have to sell. You just simply route them to a funnel, which is your discovery page. Make them fill it out. And they go, well, Cotton, what if they don't fill it out? Then they're not serious. Move on. Don't like cry over it or worry about it. Guys, if they're not serious enough about filling out a discovery form, they're not serious enough about spending business. So I can tell you this, if I'm going to buy something that's thousands of dollars, I want to fill it out so I can give them the most information so I can get the most out of my money. Now I got questions like, well, do I have to fill it out? It's like, absolutely. We want to make sure that we give you everything that you're paying for and more. And we can dig in and find things we could never find out from a general conversation. So guys, this is what it's all about. So we're going to go back to here right now. With the right system, right product, anyone can be great at sales. And it seems like now a lot of light bulbs have went off, and you believe that. So, Stephen, I know I was off on a tangent, but anything you or Derek want to add to this?
If you'll check out the Facebook thread, Cotton, I made a post. That's my answer, basically.
Oh, let me like,
you see it?
Let me like scoot over here. Well, see, it's locked and loading right here. So hold on. We will try to scroll down here as much as we can. Hold on. Let me just go to my other screen. That screen's moving. Oh, God, there's so many postings. I'm like scrolling as fast as I can, and I can't get to the bottom. I don't see any songs. Nope. Don't see it.
It's reposted. Should be the newest post.
The newest one? Oh. No, this is it.
Your Facebook is locked up. I think you're a thread behind me. Basically, it's a Bryan Cranston mic drop. That's all I got, man.
Oh.
Dude, that could have been. We should just leave now. That was awesome.
Yeah, let me just refresh because I think I'm like locking this whole thing up here. So we will. Oh, it keeps going back to this. See, look, even it's scrolled down right now. I broke it, and it wants more, and it doesn't want to open. So dude, it's broke. So with that, guys, I guess if you don't have anything to add, guys, I really want you guys to be fired up about this stuff because this is how you make money. You're showing businesses, you're giving them a product that everybody needs. Every business needs it, and we're giving you a system that literally makes you control the process through the whole way. So with that, thank you, Stephen, for posting that. I went off on a rant. I even got a little sweat there going off on that one, so we'll move to the next one. Oh, this is a real important one to me. Man, this is powerful, super powerful. All sales battles are won before they ever start. Guys, I live and I breathe this. And guys, it really breaks my heart when I see people in the Facebook group post, listen, I have a client tomorrow and I really need this information and you need to get back to me right now. Oh my God, I've just got a client and I don't have this contract ready. Has anyone got a contract? Oh my God, I've got a client right now and they're in this niche and I don't know what to do. Can someone please help me? I don't feel sorry for you. I don't. And sometimes I don't even want to help you. And you want to know why? Because much like anything, if you want to be good at something, you've got to practice it. And you know what? Here's another thing I hear in all the Facebook groups. I see someone post, I just signed a $4,000 client. Oh, Jimmy, tell me how you done that. Oh my God, please tell me. Guys, these are rookies that got struck by lightning. They couldn't get another $10,000 a month client if someone dropped dead and gave them a check. Guys, stop trying to take shortcuts. And to everyone that gets struck by lightning, you want to know, what'd you do to get it? What'd you do to get it? You want everyone to do the work for you. You want everyone to do the work for you. You show up and you didn't do your damn homework. You don't have contracts. You don't know what a proposal is when you should. You shouldn't even be out. You should never speak to a client until you make a checklist and you know every possible thing that a client can say and be ready for it. You should have a contract ready if they want one. You should have all the information ready. You should have what a proposal looks like. And I know this is hard truth, but guys, I got good at sales because I came in prepared. I didn't go out in the wilderness with just my underwear and a Bic lighter and call myself a survivalist. That's not how I do business. So for those of you that are lazy, and I'm calling you out, you're lazy. You didn't put in your work. And you want us to do the work for you. Every sales battle is won before it starts. Guys, every sales, if you're an OMG, you have one product, SEO, And I encourage you to stick with one product. But guys, the sales conversations go the exact same way. 90% of the time, there's very little variation. But have you bothered to sit down to write down every possible objection that you can get and have an answer for it? Did you sit and worry, or are you the person that typed in Facebook, I don't know what to do. They want more credibility from me. Well, you've had 6 months to get credibility. Why is your inadequacy now your emergency to my problem right now? You've been in OMG this long and you refused to get good at sales. You refuse to take this seriously. And guys, every battle is won before they start in sales. I practice it every day. You can't sit and think because you're reading stuff in a Facebook group that you're going to get good at sales, or you heard Sally Mae Sue said that she did this and it did that it works. Now, I'm sorry to be so harsh about this, but guys, a lot of you know what I'm talking about. And Stephen and I have talked about it. A lot of us have. There's always an emergency going on, but you've had months to take care of this emergency. So guys, I just want, more than anything, I want a hashtag make sense. Make sense. Guys, every, I don't care what it is, every sales battle is won before it starts. And guys, I'm going to tell you right now, some tough love is what some of you need to hear. And I say this because I truly care about your success. Not because I'm trying to be a hard ass right now, but guys, how hard is it to type in SEO proposal in Google and find 10 or 12 of these and take the time to craft your own instead of bothering 50 OMGers to say, give me what you're using because I just don't want to do the work. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me. So guys, this is what I want to tell you. If you want to be good at sales, you still got to be prepared. Now we've got an incredible product. We got an incredible system. And you already believe that you can be good at it. But if you are good, guys, even NFL players right now, they have to have preseason before they get ready for the season. What have you done to get ready to change your career to make hundreds of thousands of dollars? I'm just kind of curious. What have you done? You've watched a couple modules? Or are you just waiting on us to tell you what to do? Innovators, guys, innovators make the money. You know, there was a post today that basically told me, well, when are you going to come out with that training? And I'm like going, wow, well, why don't you test and do the research and development on it? Guys, if you want to be good at stuff, you got to test your own things. You got to think of ways outside the box. You got to contribute. Remember, OMG is a city on a hill, but it's also a society. But it isn't about 6 coaches go out and gather all the fruit and all the meat and all the fish and feed everyone. It's about other people doing likewise and helping and contribute in return. It isn't about gimme. It isn't about that. So remember this, the next time I see a post where you've been in OMG for months and months and you're going out getting clients, and first of all, the guys, there are no niches. Let's forget about that. There are no niches, there's just money. So all this posting about what about this niche, that niche, no. And you know about pricing. We've went over pricing 19 times. Who has had any experience pricing? If you'd have filled out your discovery form, you would know how to price them. You would have asked them. You would have had a conversation with them before. So guys, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Remember this. Every sales battle is won before they start. If you're not reading about sales, practicing about sales, reading about human psychology, if you're not about doing this, then good luck, you're going to be average. But just like working out, you just can't sit on the couch and say, damn, I'm going to get ripped. I mean, it's not going to happen. You actually got to get to the gym and actually move around to actually have some stuff happen. So that's my tough love on this. And this is one of the most powerful things, guys, because remember this, always remember this. Every sales encounter that you're going to have in OMG is going to be eerily similar. Every one of them, besides a few variations. Why aren't you good at it? Why aren't you good at it? The same like Groundhog Day over and over. Stephen, Derek, you have anything to add?
Another mic drop.
Amen.
Yeah. I mean, this is one that I get irritated about. It's just everyone's inadequacies becomes my emergency.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you about a few, and guys, this definitely is not like a beat anybody up webinar. So, and if you think I'm talking about you, I'm probably not. Okay, this example, the person I'm talking about is likely not on this webinar. But like Cotton said, sending me a private message saying that in 1 hour I have a pitch with a multi-million-dollar agency company for a $60 million contract. And I just need to ask you a few quick questions before. I can't do that. You have to be prepared. Like Cotton said, and I'll tell you one thing. My dad is a fantastic salesperson, and we talked about this a long time ago, and I've done sales in multiple jobs. But one of the things is it's easy to sell a good product, right, at a fair price. Right? You need to be a fantastic salesperson to sell a crappy product at an inflated price, right? Now that's a salesman, right? But what you're selling when you sell OMG SEO is you're selling a fantastic product at a very, reasonable price. Okay? So I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to know that when you go into these pitches, when you go into these proposals, that you are going to be able to deliver the results that your client wants. You need to know that deep down in your soul, that if you follow our training, you're going to deliver. And, this was the point before this, not this one we're on now, about, having confidence in things. But, that's one thing you guys need to remember. You're going to do it. If you get this contract, you're going to be able to rank it. You're going to be able to do it. But like Cotton said, we've done just about everything that we can except actually do it for you. Honestly, we've done just about everything that we can except actually physically go close the client for you. We provided you all the tools, like Cotton said, and for anyone that wants a proposal, there's probably 18 of them in the main OMG Facebook group because people feel like uploading them. I know you guys aren't in there, some of you in Project Assimilation, but like Cotton said, you can go Google one. There's nothing magic about a proposal. It's not going to make it or break it. If your proposal is what loses you the contract, you're fooling yourself, right? You're wanting to blame something because you didn't get the deal. It wasn't your proposal if you didn't get it. That's not very important. And what Cotton showed you, this process, this system, it's the same reason, a lot of ways business is like war, right? And the quote that Cotton said is similar to one from The Art of War, saying every battle is won before it's even fought. And that's how, when I was in the Army, we had a strategy. We knew exactly what was going to happen, when and where and how. And, and it was scientific and it was planned and it was violent, and that's how sales is. You need to, this video method, it puts off so much for you. It's almost like T-ball now. If you use this video, like Cotton says, and you do what Cotton says, I swear to you, it's like freaking T-ball, right? It's not even Little League. It's freaking T-ball. They're just, the ball's sitting there just waiting for you to smash it. So, anyway, that's all I got to say. But guys, I hope that y'all are enjoying this evening. This might be the best webinar I've ever been on, ever, or attended, or even heard. So, and I think we're 3 or 4 slides in. So, I hope you guys are as excited as I am, because like Cotton said, I don't know what these things are either. So I'm taking notes. If you're not taking notes, I don't know what's wrong with you. I've been doing this for 12 years and I'm taking notes. So, thank you, Cotton, for all the content. It's just awesome. But that's it. That's all I got.
Thank you. We will move to the next one. We're a little behind. So next one, seriously, I don't even remember what I wrote. So next one is, I love this one too. Dominate your market. Do not compete in it. Guys, this is all about back to the first one right now, which is to, every battle's won before it starts. Guys, I don't just want to rank I want to rank number one. I just don't want one number one. I want two. I just don't want I want my clients to crush. I want to crush. I just don't want to eke by and win. I want to be the bona fide heavyweight champion of local SEO. That's what I want. I love competition. I love it. And guys, I'm telling you right now, if you don't go in with this mindset to just literally saying, hey, look, and guys, this is about domination. Because when you go and you move someone out of a number one position, you're taking money and food out of someone else's mouth and you're putting it in yours. Let's not make any mistake about what this is. But guys, you really have to have the mental mind frame that you want to come in and you want to dominate. You want to dominate your city. You want to take over the top niches. You want to get into affiliate marketing and dominate a niche. You want to do lead gen, dominate a niche. No matter what it is you want to do, you should want to dominate and not win and not apologize for being great. Guys, you know, what I want you to do right now is I want you to get all fired up right now is, guys, if you want to be great in your niche, if you want to rule your city, I want you to give me a hashtag I'm great. Because, guys, I can tell you this. It was the most eerie feeling because you got to fire yourself up in any way that you can. Any way that you can. And guys, it's okay to say that you're great because you are. You are what you believe. And by saying this right now, you're like going to do it. But I'm going to tell you what an eerie feeling this is. This might be, and you might say, Cotton, you're egotistical or you're narcissistic. It's not, but it's a crazy feeling that I had. One of them was, I'll never forget the first time I drove up to Chicago and I looked at the skyline and I said, holy crap. This is a big city. And you know what? I rank number one for SEO. I am number one in this entire freaking city. Holy crap. Just me. No one else. And guys, that feeling was so amazing that I can't even tell you. I was like, wow, there's millions and millions of people here, and I took that number one position for SEO. And guys, it is an incredible feeling. And Derek and Steven, have you ever felt that before when you just got something and you're like, man, I am number one here. This is my territory. I put my flag up here and this is mine. Have you guys ever experienced that before?
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, and again, not to hype on the military thing, but Cotton, I was in the Army, I was in Special Operations, and this is something that's real heavy in the military. Obviously, we call it violence of action, right? But when you go into combat, you have to know you're going to win, and you have to have absolutely no mercy for the enemy. And business, in a lot of ways, is very much the same. And I'll tell you, and you guys may make fun of me for this, and it's okay if you want to. I'm okay with that. And I've never shared this before, but I actually have a ritual that I do every time I take on a new client. And again, you guys can laugh at me if you want, but it's just something I've done forever. I've always done this. I will actually have a specific time. I go and I Google the SERP for the trophy keyword, and I actually kind of talk to the number one person there, and I actually almost kind of, it's not apologize, but I tell them, I say, I hope that your shit's in order. I hope that your things are together because I'm coming for you.
Oh no, dude,
I hope you're ready because you're about to go.
Hell
and it's just a thing that I do. It's a mental rehearsal, just like I did in the Army. And I'm with you with this. I'm the nicest guy you'll ever meet in personal life. I'm a freaking therapist, right? But when it comes to business, it's war. And like you said, man, taking that number one spot. If you're not shooting for number one, you should quit. You need to get another job. You should shoot for number one every day. Second place, I don't even know what second place feels like, right? There's no point in that. So yeah, man, I love it. I love that feeling. It's awesome. And and I only work with good businesses. I a lot of due diligence on the people that I choose as clients, and I know that when I put them in number one, I know that the people that go to them are getting the an absolute first class person in business. So I have no qualms at all about doing what I need to do to get that client up there.
Sure.
But yeah, I love it, man. I love that.
Dude, it's great. Derek, what about you, man? I know you're the silent assassin. You get all worked up about this?
Can you hear me right now? I can't remember if I'm muted.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I sometimes get confused if I'm on mute or not.
Yeah.
But, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's I don't know. It's a really good feeling, especially when you take number one. And just like the traffic alone from like number one to number two is insane. It's like, and you develop into your sales pitch as well too, right? It's like, yeah, sure, you want to go to number two guy, then go to the number two guy. It's like,
Definitely.
So,
Definitely.
you got like people phoning you.
Yeah. But guys, trust me when I say this. If you've never got a number one before, it is a feeling of vindication, of a job well done. Guys, SEO is such a weird place to work, because what other place in the world can you work for that actually everyone knows you're freaking number one? They know how good you are by Googling it. That's why all these guys that are teaching SEO and these other courses, I can't show you my number one. Oh, well, it's because you don't have one. That's why. I'm so proud of mine that it's like, man, I did it. And you know what? If they want to take that away from me, I got 3-4 more to show on different websites. So guys, what I'm like telling you is, I want you to have this feeling. I want you to know what it feels like to know that you're the best at your job. You can be a barber, you can be an insurance salesman, you can be a baker, you can barbecue some ribs, you can do whatever, but no one knows for real if you're number one there. There's trophies, there's different contests, you can do whatever. But man, when you are number one SEO in that whole city, and Google says so, no one can argue with that. No one can argue with that. Then guys, if like you want to feel that, give me hashtag I want that. I want that. Guys, just to take over a number one keyword anywhere, to take your competition, and just know for once, you know, guys, how many times have we competed and came up losers, or just we've done stuff? And, you know, you could tell someone, hey, man, I'm the best at pool there ever was. Someone comes and wipes your ass out. Or, you know, that you're good at video games, you're good at this. But, guys, what satisfaction do you get when you're online and you can look at it and show your family? You can show your friends. You can show other businesses. I'm number one. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. And this should fire you up. You should want it. You should want it. I should have a whole lot more I want that. I want that. Because, guys, when you get it, oh, you want more. You want more. And guess what? The more you get, the more money you make. That's what's crazy. So, guys, you should want that. So what I'm telling you right now is, guys, dominate your market. Don't compete in it. Dominate it. And then when you're standing wherever you're at, I want you to stand there and say, holy crap, I'm the best. And guys, I'm saying I'm the best out of shock, because I can't believe it. I like impress myself sometimes. I'm like, wow. So guys, that's what I want you to do. You need that mental mind frame when you're in client SEO to dominate. Don't compete. Next one, we'll move right along. Here's a good one. You know what? This is an easy one that I can let Steven fire off with first. Steven, what do you say about this one right here? I'm going to let you lead off with this one. Welcome jobs outside your skill level.
So,
or would you rather me lead?
So, yeah. So, you know, it's funny. There's a Richard Branson quote that I love to post on these, and it basically says, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity, take it and figure out how to do it later. There's different schools of thought on this, Cotton. Some people are going to wait until, they're an SEO master and all that before they're going to try to get their first client. You have all the skills that you need in OMG to rank anything that you want, right? You have all the training to rank anything that you want. So, you need to start off, whoever is in front of you is who you need to close. So if it's little fish, close little fish. If it's big fish, close little fish. And that's pretty much what I've got on that.
Great. Guys, what I want to tell you is this. Never be scared to work outside your comfort zone. It's all about what's in your mind with confidence. Confidence is the only thing stopping you. But guess what? There's nothing better in the world to get paid to learn. Because if not, guys, I can promise you this. With all the information and all the knowledge we have inside of OMG, you're already more skilled than anyone that could ever do it. But not only that, your abilities are going to grow and scale because you stretched outside of your skill level and forced yourself to do things that you weren't ready for. Now, these are things right here where I love these questions when I get people ask them, or when people want to message me and say, hey, I took a job that I probably wasn't ready for, and I need to know how to do this, and you're making money. Now, guys, I'm telling you, don't be scared to take jobs that are outside what you think you could do, even if you are a beginner. So what I'm trying to say is, please make money, learn making money, and guess what? If you don't rank them, well, you got paid to learn. And guess what? I know that you won't make that mistake again. But you have so many valuable lessons to learn. And guys, I continue to do it. So many jobs over the last year and a half that I've taken. I go, oh, man, I think I've bit off a little bit more than I can chew here. I don't know if I can do this. Even I think that. I'm like, man, this is going to be hard. I hope I can deliver. And I even say that several times. Man, hope Google algorithm doesn't come out and give me away. But you know what I always do? I always go in knowing that I'm going to be tested and I'm going to learn something and I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to be a better SEO for it all the way around. And guys, what I want you to do is if you really believe this, I want you to take jobs outside your skill level and don't be scared to do it. Give me a hashtag not scared. I don't want you to be scared to take any deal whatsoever. You got Greg Morrison on your side. You got Stephen Floyd. You got Derek Owasiak. You got Joe Marfolio. You got me. You got all the thousands of people that are in OMG that you're with. You should never be scared to take anything out there ever. Make money. Don't be scared. Know this. You can either go to college. It's a whole lot different. You can go to college and you can work on a cadaver. Or you can cut up some frogs. Or you can get paid thousands and thousands of dollars a month to get paid to learn and be good at it, guys, and still be more qualified than the person that was going to take it. That's what I can promise you. So we're not going to stay a long time on this one, guys, but please take the jobs. I'm going to tell you. If you ask me, should I take it? Hell yeah, take it. Stretch yourself, and you'll be shocked at what you can do. So we got a lot of people here that I'm loving it, that aren't scared, that are fired up, that are ready to roll. Let's get on to the next one. I don't know how many we have to go. This one right here. This one, I love this one. Love it. In client SEO, ranking does not mean banking. And what I want to tell you is, guys, is even though you take this number one position in anything that you do, that does not necessarily equate to a lot of money. And the reason that I'm saying this is some of you have number one positions right now, and your clients have number one positions, and they're still complaining. And what it is, guys, is it's down to conversion. Conversion. Is the website right? Is it conducive for customers or what else? It took me about a month and a half to tweak my website to where I knew that it would convert in the way that it is. So guys, what I'm saying is if you start to rank and you don't see the bank after it, then there's something else you're not doing right. But always, it's never the case. Ranking does not mean banking. If you don't do the right keywords, if there's not enough traffic behind the keywords that you're going after, guys, if you want to do, I like live in a suburb of Orlando. If I ranked in that suburb, who cares? There's no traffic here. No one's going to search for it. So guys, what I want you to understand is it's cool to have number ones, and your number ones can be used to build your authority no matter where you're at. We've already taught you this in previous webinars, but what I want to make real clear to you is there's still a little bit more work to be done. When you're in client SEO, you want to get your phone to ring. You want to get your client's phone to ring. You want whatever else. Ranking does not mean banking. Stephen or Derek, you have anything to add?
Oh, man. I want to jump in on this one for sure. So I could probably talk about this one for an hour, but I won't. This reminds me kind of when we show these, watch me rank this in 30 seconds things with no content and no whatever. So I'm like, Who gives a shit, right? Who cares? What does that mean to me, right? Me watching you rank something that has zero possibility of turning into money, So yeah, I mean, remember that it takes two things to make money. It takes traffic and conversions. It's a 50-50 equation. You can't have one without the other. One without the other is, useless, right? And so, and a lot of you guys going for the My City SEO thing, it's good. Do it. Like Cotton said, it's one of the best things. The only reason I even still have a website, to be honest with you, and you know what, it could be down right now. I don't even know. I don't even care. That's not how I get my clients anymore. But I did, and I maintain one, and I'm usually, number one. Sometimes I'm number two. I don't really care. But I do it for the proof, not because it blows up my phone, and that's why we're teaching you, all these different ways, to do things, right? So yeah, great point, Cotton. Really, really great point. Not only for me, but also, like Cotton said, for your clients. That's something to keep in mind. So definitely a good point.
Derek, anything to add?
Well, I just remember you, like, from a long time ago, like, when we first started this, is just how important it was just to rank anything for proof, right? And so even though it may never generate leads or whatever, but, the clients want to see that you can at least, in fact, rank. Sure. They don't necessarily know that that keyword doesn't bring any volume with it or any traffic. So, but it's just stating that you can control, like, the digital real estate landscape, it's like, so, and just doing that and having ranked, like, some major cities for us, it's changed the pitch so much that people just believe you so much more, right? It's like, if you can't prove it, you can't rank, they're not going to believe anything else you say. So,
True.
That's all I
True.
have to say.
Thank you. Guys, one of the other things that I really want to hit on with ranking does not mean banking is like this. How many of you believe that it is that you could not make any money without a website? That you could not sell SEO without a website? I want you to give me a yes or a no. Hashtag yes or hashtag no. I want you to give me this because I really want to hit something home. So, come on, guys. We got about 600 people on here. I know that everybody's. Let's hashtag it out here. So we got a lot of no's here, a lot of yeses. It's about 50-50. Guys, here's what I can tell you, 100%, is that I didn't have my website for over a couple weeks when it had a penalty back in May of last year. I ended up doing $50,000 during that time. What I'm saying is, guys, if you build up an established business, you don't have to have a website to make money. You don't have to have a website. Is it important? Sure. But what I want you to understand is, can you get out and sell right now without having a website? Absolutely. So what I'm saying is ranking doesn't mean banking, but even having a website, guys, it's good to have one up. But if it's not ranking, I know guys that are number 10 in Chicago that are making, $60,000 a month. $60,000 a month that are ranking number 10 for Chicago SEO. So sometimes it's opposite. It doesn't matter where you rank, you can still make money. So it applies both ways, guys, both ways. So what I want to see with that, guys, just remember, if you're great at systems and if you're great at networking, we're going to get into a lot more. We're going to continue client getting into next week. There's going to be a lot more techniques and other stuff that we're going to go over. But just remember that. And if I'm not mistaken, this very well could be our last one. It is not. But this is what I want to tell you guys. ABP. I want you guys to take a guess at what this means. Floyd, this is not you. ABP. Take a guess at what it means. Tell you what, for the first 10 people that I see that actually get it right, I will give you a free 1-hour coaching together, a little mini webinar, ABP. So let's see what we got here. There's some people here. Come on, guys, always. Let's keep moving. Let's see how many people get it. There's a lot of people that have already got it. Pretty sure that we've already got our 10 here. Message me. I'll go up and see the first 10 that got it. But guys, what I'm talking about is always be prospecting. Always. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, always be looking for money. And guys, it could literally be at a basketball game. It could be going to Best Buy. It could be on your vacation. Guys, you should love your job and you should find it interesting. If you see someone that's got money, you should always ask them, hey, that's a nice watch. What do you do? And then, you know what? It's almost, they have to ask it back. Oh, well, what do you do? Oh, I own a digital marketing agency. I help businesses get more traffic. Really? And they're like, wow. And then they ask more questions and ask more questions. But guys, my head's always on a swivel. I'm always looking, always prospecting, always doing this. My radar is never off. I'm always on the hunt, always on the kill. That is exactly how I make as much money as I do. Now, you don't have to make as much money as I do to be happy. But if you want to grow your business from the very beginning and you want to grow it rapidly right away, always look at everyone as being a prospect. If like someone knows anyone that has a business, or, always ask people their professions. They might be able to open up a door for you to go someone else. Stephen Floyd just did a video today. He's always prospecting. Whenever Stephen Floyd calls someone to work on someone's house, he's always prospecting. But guys, this is pretty simple. Simple rule. Always be prospecting. Steven, what do you got to add to this?
I had one today actually. So I got my, this one's a really good one actually. I'm really proud of this one. So, I needed to get my fence stained, which isn't that expensive. I think it was like $1,500 is what it was. And so, at first I thought, I don't even know if I'm going to go after this, but the guy like struck up a conversation. So, I didn't get a free fence this time. Typically I'll barter for that. I did not get a free fence, but I'm about 99% sure that I've got another $2,500 a month contract. So, it's fun. I do it because it's fun. And not that I wouldn't like another $2,500 a month, but it really wasn't the money. It really is because it's fun. I enjoy doing it. And honestly, this is going to sound like cheesy to some of you listening. And if it does, you don't know me very well, but I really liked this guy and I really liked this company. And I went through a couple of others and had a bad experience. And so my thought process, yes, I want to make money, so don't get me wrong. But honestly, guys, my thought process on this was, I really like this guy. I really like how he does business. More people should be finding this guy, right? Instead of those jerks that I dealt with before who don't do good business. So that's what got me interested. And so, like Cotton said, though, man, always be closing, everywhere. And like he said, too, sometimes the person that you're talking to isn't the person that's going to provide the value. It's someone that they know. So, like he said, casual conversation. What do you do? Well, what do you do? It's just a very natural kind of a thing, And, man, I tell you what, you can make your whole business off of just that. You really, really can. Sure. Just by, unless you're a shut-in and you never leave your house. I get more business from my church than I do anywhere else. And trust me, I'm not like this cheesy guy that walks around my church with his business cards handing them out to everybody I meet. I'm not like that at all. It's just I have good relationships there. I'm well respected at my church, and I go to a church that's fairly affluent. So there's a lot of business owners there. So it's just a natural kind of a thing. What do you do? Oh, I do this. Oh, well, how can I find out more? Oh, well, great. Well, here you go. Here, fill out this form. Used to, I'd have had a 2-hour meeting with them before Cotton Grammar. That's how that would have went. Before that, what do you do? Oh, it sounds interesting. What do we do? I would have spent 2 hours working up a proposal, and then I would have sat down with them in our coffee bar, which is real nice. It's kind of like a Starbucks, and I would spend another 2 hours with them, trying to pitch them. Now I do what Cotton does: send them through the discovery form, and then if they're a good prospect, we go to the next step. But anyway, that's great stuff.
Great, guys. What I want to encourage you to do is like this. If you're going to make getting clients and you're going to be serious about it, I want you to study in expensive watches, expensive watch brands, shoes, cars, just clothing, brands, all that stuff. A Robb Report is a very good magazine to pick up. Things like that, guys. You will not believe all the money that's in front of you when you start opening your eyes up to it. You should always be looking for stuff like that. Guys, if you can make a commitment that if you're serious about getting clients and how to spot them and how to start conversations, guys, I'm telling you what, I it's not because I like them, but I had to go out and I had to buy an expensive car. I have expensive watches. I have everything because I want to strike up conversation pieces and be equal to someone else. So when I see that like someone has a Rolex on, or that someone's got an Omega, someone's got a Panerai, or they've got anything like that I know what it is. I'm like, wow, that's a nice watch. And we go, dude, you got a nice one too. Conversation started. Then we find out what each other does. I'm prospecting, but I'm also making friends. So guys, what I want you to do is I want you to make a commitment right now. I want you to type in there, always just ABP, always be prospecting. You're going to actually try to look at some more expensive watches, learn what some of the new cars are coming out, pick up a magazine, type in Hot Cars 2016 or Supercars 2016. I want you to look at that, guys. I can tell you, people that have supercars like myself, guys, you're going to get my attention when you go, wow, dude, that's an amazing car. Oh, thanks. And when they start asking questions, what is that, man? What engine's in that? You know what? You think I'm going to get angry? I'm not getting angry. I'm like, I'm going to talk to you. Or like someone's like, man, that's a cool watch. Yeah. Where'd you get it at? Oh, everyone's got a story about their watch if you're a guy. Everyone does, especially if it's an expensive one. So what I'm saying is, guys, pick up a Rob report. Just go through some hot styles for guys, women, purses, cars, things like that. Educate yourself to know how to find money because, guys, it's all around you. You're just not paying attention. So that's what I want to talk about with always be prospecting. Always be prospecting. So, guys, the very last one, and it's one that I love right here. Stop overthinking. Stop overthinking. And, guys, that's the key to client SEOs. I don't overthink anything. How many of you are these people that sit there and go, but if I call him back too soon, he's going to think that I'm desperate. But if I wait too long, he's going to think I don't care. And you just sit there and you overthink. Guys, just give me hashtag ha, like ha, but because you've done this before. You've literally overthinked yourself on all of this sort of stuff. It's like, well, what if my proposal's not right? What if I don't do this? Well, what if the contract doesn't look right? Well, what if I don't offer something this? Well, what if that? Guys, you can literally sit there and you can work yourself up into the most biggest frenzy in the world before you've even called this person. And just all of a sudden you're going to go, oh my God, I suck. I don't know what I'm doing. And guys, it's the worst thing that you can do. And I hope I don't offend people saying this. The smartest people in the world paralyze themselves in sales because they future pace and they go, oh man, he said this, he said that. Well, what if he would have said this? Well, what if he would have said that? They spend time overanalyzing and overthinking. And the old jolly people that just, just come along, they're like hammers. Hey, want to buy from me? Want to buy? They're like, what? How many of you have seen these people that are literally just walking megaphones and you've watched them get sales and you're like, man, I can't do that. And it's true because, guys, all they're really doing is taking action. So I promise you when I say this, stop overthinking and just do. Just do. So best advice I can give you. Your proposal, they don't know what an SEO proposal looks like. What? You're the expert. They're not. And guys, here's the best advice I can give you with your overthinking. And I gave it to someone today that makes over $100,000 a month. They asked me for some client advice. And this guy makes over $100K a month. And he was like, man, I don't have a contract and they want a contract. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, dude, you're the SEO expert. That half of what businesses say is an impulse. It's like, hey, how are you? How's your day? Or the head nod, or good morning, good night, drive safe. Dude, it is literally like an impulse. They don't know what else to say at the end of it. So they just say, oh yeah, well just send the contract over to me. And you're like, oh my God, they asked for a contract. And you work yourself up and you overthink it. When literally what I basically say is this. I like say, oh, well, it's our company policy that we don't do contracts. we'd rather you escape anytime that you want. So what I'll just do is I'll just send over the pay link, or I'll send a little proposal. All you need to do is click approve and send payment. We can get started as early as today. And they don't say a word. Remember, you're the expert. I don't care how they do business. They do business according to how your business rules are set up. Stop overthinking. That's what it is. Derek or Stephen, you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, not only that, Cotton, but with that, I know that you're talking about a general principle, but this specific thing that you said, I actually do the same thing you do, and it's actually part of my pitch, because here's what I know. I know that if they've talked to any other SEO agencies, they have been talked to about a contract, usually a 12-month contract, and so I say, look, I'm going to earn your business every month, and that's actually part of my pitch, right? So for me, it's very strategic. I do strongly encourage all you guys to have a letter of agreement, or it doesn't matter what you call it, but some document that outlines kind of what you have verbally agreed to, just so 6 months down the road they don't go, wait, I'm supposed to rank for payday loans, and you're like, whoa, easy killer. You're supposed to rank for payday loans in Atlanta, Georgia, or something, right? So I'd have something on paper that kind of outlines your general agreement, just so you don't have a hard, times down the road. But boy, again, so much tonight about my therapy side of my life. Paralysis by analysis is such a huge thing. And there's a lot of people who, really just want to overthink things, and it's a psychological thing, and there's nothing wrong with being one way or the other, but it's a control issue is what it is. So I want you to realize that if you're the person that's doing this, if you tend to analyze everything to death before you take a simple action, it's a control issue for you. And so you need to realize that you need to trust yourself, you need to trust your training, and that everyone will tell you, including Cotton, that massive imperfect action is going to beat perfection every time, okay? Because it's going to take you 20, you're never going to be perfect, by the way, but even let's say you took 2 or 3 years to get a solid foundation, right, and get there. Someone who just goes out and says, I didn't even really know what I was doing. I printed out a couple of flyers, I put them out, and I got a client today. I cannot tell you how many times that I've heard that. Somebody did something just dumb, simple, got a freaking magnetic thing for their car, right? They're like, I don't know about all this prospecting stuff, but I got this thing for my car, and I got a call today, and we signed a deal, So just that massive imperfect action, up is better than or done is better than perfect, right?
Exactly.
Cotton, I think that's one of the things you said before, right? Yep. Done is better than perfect.
Right.
Man, so important. Listen, this last one is a killer, man. I'm telling you. This one is getting so many people, and the reason why is because, again, a lot of people who are drawn to SEO tend to be analytical type people, and they tend to be people who they want everything like math always works, right? They want to connect every little dot, and until they feel like they understand every piece of the puzzle, they're not even going to place the first piece. This is not the place to do that. The place to do that is in mathematics or science. In SEO, you need to go in, watch the training, and then start executing. Throw up a site, build some PBNs, do some work. You're going to be surprised. You're going to look back a year from now and go, man, I did this wrong, and I did that wrong, and I did that wrong. But funny thing is, I still made a ton of money. I'm still ranking. Yep. That's the story we hear, right? That's the story. And we're like, but, right? You did everything wrong, but you did, right? But you still made money. You still, ranked your client. So.
Absolutely.
Anyway, great one, Cotton. Thanks.
Thank you for your insight on that. Guys, that covers all 8. And, it's what you say about yourself, you believe, always portray an image of authority. With the right system and the right product, anyone can be great at sales. All sales battles are won before they start. Dominate your market. Do not compete in it. Welcome jobs outside your skill level. And ranking does not mean banking. Always be prospecting and stop overthinking. Guys, this wraps up the webinar right here. Next week, we're going to cover more, and we'll probably do a fact or fiction. Well, I would ask one favor of you guys. If this webinar has literally think that it's impacted or changed what you thought about client SEO, please write down a little bitty testimonial, posted it in your Facebook group. Just say, man, I really enjoyed the webinar. Stephen, Cotton, and Derek totally opened up my eyes about client SEO. I learned so much from this, guys. I wanted to take you from right here, guys. I want to turn you into the Darth the dark Sith Lord of client gathering. And if you feel that you're on your way there, please, we want this because when we prospect and bring in other people, we use a lot of these, and we just want to show that we know this particular part of it. So if you want to repay me, let me know that you've really enjoyed this. Put a post up and just say, hey, man, really enjoyed it. Tell me what you enjoyed about it. Include Derek and Steven, and I'll greatly appreciate that. Derek or Steven, any last words before we go?
No, I'm good.
Great. Steven?
Time for dinner.
Yeah, but, again, maybe best webinar ever, Cotton. I always love these. It's always funny to me how when we don't collaborate, it seems to be your best work. So I'm not sure what that says. may say something not good about me. I'm not sure, but I'll tell you. It's real obvious that you put a ton of time and energy and attention into this. And for those of you who needed to hear this, I hope that it got you kick-started. If there's some of you out there that are kind of like, well, maybe that was a little harsh or something, then it wasn't for you, okay? Then the message wasn't for you. So if you felt it and it's going to help you move into action, then you are who we were talking to. Just realize that where we come from is a place of support and a place of wanting you to win. I don't want you asking me questions in Facebook group that you can just find yourself. I want you out there winning. I want you out there making money. I want you successful. Realize that is, literally, what we feed on as coaches, right? It's not the money. It's your success. That's what gets us going. That's what gets us excited. That's what gets us pumped up. That's why we love the earnings reports and the rankings reports and all that kind of stuff. So if you've got something to share with the group, something positive, throw it in there, man. You just rank someone, let us hear about it. Right? You just hit page 1, let us hear about it. Got a new client, let us hear about it. Let us know. This is what we're here for. This is what we love. So thank you all for your time and attention. And, of course, Cotton, thank you for having me tonight. And, Derek, good seeing you as always.
Thanks, guys. Greatly appreciate it. Guys, we'll be back next week, killing it once again. Back into client getting this time. We're actually going to go over systems, the fact or fiction of things that work and what's working, going out getting clients to help you propel into next year. So, guys, we'll see you next week. And please, once again, if you could post something, if you were really moved or if there's something that we did really get you fired up, post it in your respective paid Facebook groups, not the OMG way. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night. Guys, if one of you can end the webinar, go ahead because it's locking up.